Shit was mute. Is y'all niggas ready to what? Is y'all motherfuckers ready to what? Is y'all motherfuckers ready or what? Y'all like that? Y'all like that? Y'all already know what it is. Politics as usual. All right, Uppity Negro swag. My name is Marcus Aurelius. This is the Keep It 100 channel. Eloquently petty, articulate assholery. All trolls welcome today. Got a message for you trolls today. Okay, what's going on, people? What's going on, man? It's going down. Going the fuck down. Let's read some names. Let's read some names, people. Mr. Shook to you, what's going on, man? Oh, he said, okay, I'll get to your okay, Mr. Shook, what's going on? Yo, Ted, what's up? Pastor Doom, what's up? Adric, it's on, man. Brandon, what's happening, man? Glad to see you up in here. Dr. Thunder is in the building. Hey, Maggie. Maggie says, good evening, Marcus, in her very kind voice and shit. You know what I'm saying? The cynical one is in the building. Shaka, New Lou is in the building. Trust is in the building. Hi, Toya. The cynical one, Mr. O with the info. All right, what's going on, Will? I see you. My man, Youssef. Who else is up in here? My man, Sir Tice is in the building. My man, Adrian Hicks. All right, we already got more than half my panel in the chat. Okay. All right. So, you know, we on Tan's 75-inch screen, man. I would be smoking. I lost my lighter like 2 seconds ago. So y'all don't get to see the smoke. Okay. At least the cigar smoke. But let's get to smoke. Let's get to smoke. We're going to go right into it. We're going to go right into it. Thank you, Tan. All right. We're going to go right into it. All right. This is politics as usual. Y'all know how we do around here. Shout out to your friendly neighborhood conservative, man. All right. Hood conservative, Sir Tice. My man, Ty City. All right. Ty City will be in the building. I don't know where he is now, but he'll be here. Okay. He'll be here. All right. Man, Dr. Thunder. Shout out to everybody. Later this week, me and Dr. Thunder will be having a conversation. Doc, I'm ready for you, man. I'm ready for you, man. All right. We will be having a discussion. I will let Dr. Thunder know what we will be talking about. But we had a conversation about marriage. Some of you seen it. If you have not seen it, go to Dr. Thunder's channel. Doc, you're a mod. You can post the link to the last video that we just did. Me and Dr. Thunder, towards the end of that video, had what I would consider a very interesting conversation about marriage. But at any rate, this is politics as usual. We will be discussing some things. My man Adrian Hicks will be joining us also. All right. Oh, the hood server. The hood is here. Hood is in the building. Okay. So everybody's here except for the General Tito. Okay. General Tito will be here also. He might be in the chat. Maybe I see his name. Maybe he's lurking somewhere. I want to say a couple things before we get started. Oh, yeah. One news item. Somebody sent me something, man, that I found particularly funny. And this is going to go into a couple of things that I'm going to say about human stupidity. Maggie, you deal with a lot of people, some of which probably are really like not intelligent folks. You know what I mean? Dr. Thunder just posted the link to the conversation between me and him on his channel. All right. You can save that link if you need to. That's a very interesting conversation. My man Jay Triple O, what's going on? Okay. So, yeah, back to Maggie. Maggie, you deal with a lot of different people, you know. Not everybody is an intelligent person. I want to show you an example of how stupid people could be. Okay. Keep telling motherfuckers stupid. Okay. So let me add this to the stage. Is this what I'm looking for? I don't know if this is what I'm looking for. Is it? Oh, okay. So check this shit out, man. I don't know how many people saw this. Police are still looking for the man who painted a tunnel under a bridge. So apparently somebody took, some paint and painted a tunnel on the side of a bridge, right? Painted a tunnel on the side of a bridge, right? Now you see the car over here, right? There's a car on the side that tried to drive through this fake tunnel. Okay? Tried to drive through the fake tunnel. Let me go to the next slide. Hold on. Let's go to the next slide. All right. This is the car that tried to drive. This motherfucker got to be the dumbest nigga ever, bro. How the fuck do you try to drive through the fake tunnel? And look, the road runner is standing next to the tunnel. Should have gave a nigga some indication that the shit was not a tunnel. The cops are looking for the guy pulled a prank. Who the fuck are they looking for? Wile E. Coyote? You gotta be shitting me, bro. Yo, the dude tried to drive through the cartoon tunnel, bro. What in the Toon Town is this? I keep telling you, motherfuckers are stupid, man. You stupid motherfuckers out here, man. This shit is incredible. Okay? While we are on the subject of dumb motherfuckers, okay? While we are on the subject, hold on, let me go here. While we are on the subject of stupid motherfuckers, and a lot of y'all ain't gonna like this one. A lot of y'all ain't gonna like this one. While we on the subject of dumb motherfuckers, okay? Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay? Check this out. Check this out. While we on the subject of the stupid, okay? Let me tell you something, bro. Okay? And I hope my trolls are in here. Let me see how many people up in here. I probably should have waited. It's 38 people up in here. Click the like button. Get this shit popping on the feed. Some motherfuckers will know I'm doing this shit so they can hop up in here. Get the likes up. Get the likes up. Look at this sack of shit. Stupid motherfucker, man. Now, y'all saw my man write a letter to President Trump. Allegedly. Wrote a letter to President Trump to sue Africa on behalf of Black Americans for reparations. If you didn't know that this was happening. Uncle D, who some of y'all niggas call this nigga Uncle D, this nigga looked like, you know, Grandpapa D, like out this motherfucker, man. Wants to sue Africa for reparations. You know, the nation of Africa, right? The nation, Africa, the country, the nation of Africa. We're going to sue Africa for reparations. So apparently, some Haitian guy, I forget his name, Nakar, whatever, however you pronounce that shit. I ain't got time, right? Made a video about him and about this stupid shit, right? Said a few things. Now, of course, the reaction is, well, this guy's Haitian, y'all. He's a tether, right? So we shouldn't listen to what he's saying. But he actually made some points. Now, mind you, I posted this when it originally happened. Uncle D is now suing this guy, right? He's suing that guy, the Haitian guy who made the video about him because he called him a failed attorney. Well, goddamn. Do y'all know any landmark case tried by Uncle D? I mean, the nigga's an accident attorney. And what I'm tired of in this space is y'all niggas treating this nigga like he's Johnny Cochran. This nigga is not Robert Shapiro. Okay? He's not the nigga that y'all like. Y'all think all lawyers are created equal. Right? So now he's suing this guy for calling him a failed attorney. Suing him, citing that his comments have impacted his business and his ability to perform as an attorney and feed his family. This is what this goofball is saying. This nigga who gets on YouTube, right? These hoes, these motherfucking hoes, fuck these hoes, right? You would think that may be the thing that's affecting your motherfucking, your ability to, Complex, what's going on, bro? Nice to see you in here. Neferkari Dessalines, right? If I'm pronouncing that right. Neferkari Dessalines, right? He's suing this guy for $250,000. This is why this nigga sucks as a lawyer. And mind you, now Marcus said it. Dessalines. Okay. Now Marcus said it. Nigga, you suck. You're a failed attorney. You suck, right? And let me tell you why you suck. If you were, and the reason why I say that you suck, because, motherfuckers like, hey, Marcus, but he's a lawyer and you don't know about the law. Nigga, I done whooped lawyers' asses in court. My niggas will tell you. And I was talking to Hicks earlier. I've only had to hire a lawyer one time. When my landlord gave me a motion this thick, and I was like, I ain't reading that shit. That's too much for me to read. I'm not reading that. So I hired a lawyer, and I made sure that my lawyer wasn't a small hat in New York, because you ain't trying that bullshit on me. That's the only time I've hired a lawyer. I've had at least five cases in New York where I've went after people, or mostly people coming after me, and I whooped ass. They always had a lawyer. It's a lot of dudes that go to law school and they suck ass, bro. I know when a lawyer is sucking ass. And when does Dennis actually practice law? And here it is. Thank you. Bro said his biological dad was Jamaican, then tried to backtrack. When I prove to you bitch ass niggas that came at me on my community tab asking me, hey Marcus, are you a tether? Are you a tether? Nigga came at me. These are like civil cases. These are, niggas trying to sue me, Adrian. But niggas came at me. On my community tab, you can go see it. Oh, you must be a tether, Marcus. I'm like, you must be new here. You must be a tether, Marcus. Are you a tether? I'm like, I'm not even going to dignify that question. Well, you're deflecting. You don't want to answer. I'm like, nigga, check this out. If you don't know what my background is by now, and I've been on this motherfucker for years now, saying what I've been saying, you're new. I don't owe you an explanation. Actually, how about this? If you want to know whether I'm from some other part of the diaspora, why don't you ask them? Ask the Jamaicans, am I Jamaican? Ask the Trinis, am I Trini? Ask the Africans and the Nigerians, am I one of them? No, brother. No, he's not one of us, brother. They will tell you instantly. Okay? So when you can't argue your point, y'all Tariq Nasheed dick suckers get on y'all McCarthy shit and just start asking, oh, papers, please. Papers. I don't give a fuck what you think. It doesn't change shit. Niggas ask me, tether. Nigga, my family's as geechee as they come. And a tether wouldn't know what the word meant. As geechee as they come. Now, before you cape for this nigga, find out his background. Find out his background. To be honest, I question his motives. We need to sue Africa? Who the fuck are you suing? Who are you suing? Who are you putting on the paperwork? The tribes are gone. Do you sue the nation that the tribe is from? How does that work? How would they be liable? How would you sue the nation that the Dahomey tribe is from? As if 500 years later, that nation would be liable for what a tribe did. Y'all niggas is clowns. Niggas in my community tab talking about Marcus, he throw a solution under the bus. This is a solution? The answer to reparations is to sue Africa? Y'all niggas are dumb as rocks. If you unsub for me, great. Get the fuck out of here. This ain't for you. This ain't for you. If you unsub from me because you think I'm a tether, get the fuck out of here. This ain't for you. It's stupid shit like this that makes a mockery of the reparations case. This weakens the reparations case. How do you go to the president of the plantation and ask him to help you go after Africa. You ain't even get your shit here. And you're asking him, them people will be happy to help you go after somebody else. Because then you're saying, well, we ain't the ones that did it to you. It was them. Yeah, we'll help them do it. We'll help you do it to them. This ain't about me, caping Marcus. You caping for Africans? Fuck you. Fuck you. Y'all know my get down on this channel when it comes to FBA Ado's fucking conversations. Y'all know my get down on that. I got whole videos on that shit. Man, I got whole videos on that shit, man. The guy you're defending is questionably Black American, dubiously Black American. The pattern here in this space that I realize is every time I call some bullshit out here, y'all want to pull my file. Y'all want to pull my file. I'm trying to keep the bullshit out this motherfucker, and every time I attempt to do that, y'all pull my file. The bitch May, y'all took her side and pulled my file. How we know that this email is real, Marcus? Y'all pulled my file. When I question this motherfucker right here, this is the same nigga that told you to go get the fucking COVID vaccine. That's that nigga right there. The same goofy ass smile that's on my screen right now. Do y'all relate to him more than me? Is that it? I'm going to offend some sensibilities tonight. Fuck this nigga here. This is the type of shit that fucks our shit up. And yes, he sucks as a lawyer. He should know that there's no case in taking, Africa for reparations, just like he should know that there's no case in suing a small-time YouTuber for $250,000 because he hurt your fucking feelings. Nigga, you suck as a lawyer. Marcus said it, nigga. You're trash, nigga. And my channel is bigger than his. You suck. You're trash as a lawyer, bro. You're whack. You get the fuck out of here. I'd mop the floor with you in court. That's on everything I love, bro. The same nigga that was anti-passport, bro, but then had to fly out to get his wife. Anybody who's new to Dennis, y'all better start watching his old shit. And if you ain't got time to do that, I got a video on here called Simps, Coons, and Chameleons that's about that nigga right there. When I say shit about niggas, I come with receipts, and y'all still dick suck these niggas. That nigga ain't gonna get you no pussy. He ain't gonna save the community. He ain't gonna get you visitation. That nigga ain't doing shit for you. This nigga talking about that. Why is Dennis not fighting real cases for black men? Why is he not fighting real shit right here for black men? Instead, he writing letters to Trump to chase Africa. This nigga's an attorney. He could be doing real shit for the space, bro. Instead, this nigga got a Lincoln letter. Has anybody seen not the Inglorious Bastards, the Hateful Eight? Who's seen the Hateful Eight? Give me a 1 in the chat. I don't even think he's married, Tice. Give me a 1 in the chat if you've seen the Hateful Eight, Tarantino. It's blazing this motherfucker. I don't think my AC on, man. I'm in Vegas, man. I got to turn this AC on. Nope, this shit ain't on. Type a 1 in the chat if you've seen the Hateful Eight. I'll be right back. For everybody that's seen the Hateful Eight, Y'all know what the fuck the Lincoln letter is. This nigga Dennis is on his Lincoln letter shit. This nigga's on his Lincoln letter shit. Dude, that nigga, I got a letter from the president saying, good job in the Civil War. You fought with valor. This nigga showing y'all his Lincoln letter, and this nigga like, oh, wow, he wrote a letter to the president. Let me tell y'all something, man. I love the Black Manosphere, but this shit is getting goofy about a day. We got niggas in here that's content creators that claim that they talking to senators and congressmen and shit like that, and they getting laws passed and shit like this, and they sitting here and this and that and the other. Yeah, Shaka, you got a letter from the president? This nigga told you he wrote Donald Trump. This nigga shit is junk mail at best. This is a nigga that was a reality show personality, a fucking rapper. This guy was rapping. This is the guy you take serious? Yo, my name is Uncle D, and I'm here to say, got them hoes every day. This nigga was rapping. This is the nigga that's going, him, Pearl. Yo, come on, y'all. I want to, this is why I don't stream as much as I used to. This shit is getting goofy, bro. Shaka, you know what? Put everybody type in Shaka was right. Hashtag Shaka Nulu was right. Yo, Hood, he was rapping in this commercial. He was rapping. This nigga had a reality. This nigga wants to be a personality, bro. This nigga's not a lawyer. He's an influencer. This nigga had a reality show. This is the nigga leaving his wife $1 million after she took his kids from him. This is your king? This is the Blizzard King? That's my wife. I love her. I'm gonna leave her $1 million. That's what this nigga talk about. This is the nigga that's gonna deliver y'all niggas to the promised land. One minute he pro-black, the next minute he red pill. The pro-passport bro, anti-passport bro. Leader of the Manosphere. Bro, what the fuck, man? But y'all pulled my file. Let me, before we about to move on, I don't want to spend too much time on this fucking dumbass shit. Matter of fact, before I move on, my man sent me a link. I got to check this out. I haven't seen this yet. I haven't seen this yet. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Because we going to do this. We going to do this, man. Because y'all niggas came for me on my community tab. And it ain't more. The only thing goofier than a goofy is the goofy who follows him. Ain't nothing more goofier than a nigga who follows a goofy. Let me get this up. Okay. Let me see. Here we go. Let me get this up. Let me back this up. Hold on. All right, let me share this with y'all. This fucking dude is an idiot. Mind you, let me say this. I don't know the guy who he's suing. I don't know him. I don't follow him. I don't give a fuck about him. But this fucks up your reparations case, man. It does. Let me pull this up. Let's see what this nigga talking about.
And all these rest of these Africans and let them deal with their partners from back in the day.
We back. Yeah, we back. Now today's gonna be a quick video. Oh, now, as you already know,
this is he sent this to me. Nefakari T. Desalinas. Let's check it out though. Let's see what he talking about. Fuck it.
Oh, I'm currently engaged in a legal dispute with another public figure. And the reason for that is a while ago he had made a video saying that he wants to sue African nations for selling his ancestors into slavery.
Which ones, man? The nations didn't sell shit, is the tribes. But okay, let's go.
And I came across this video of this young lady that actually, debunked that. She debunked that and said nobody was sold into slavery, right? Africa is not the motherland, right? So, like I said, she debunked it. So, we're just gonna get into it.
Now, mind you, I don't know who this chick is. Nobody got sold into slavery. I don't know. It's a little far-fetched. Let's see what he talking about.
Not wasting no time. Let's go.
So let's talk about this out of Africa theory. And I just have to say this plainly. It is a theory, not a fact, right? But the way that it's pushed online and in the textbooks and in the media, you would think that it is a fact, but it's not.
All right, we back. Now, as you can see, she said the out of Africa theory is false. It's fabricated.
Now, let me pause this. Another thing I want to touch on, and I've never spoken on this before, but I'll speak on it now. You got a lot of people that are saying that most black people in America did not come from Africa, that we were here already and we were enslaved after the Europeans arrived here after the fact, like we were already here. Now, this is becoming a very popular thing amongst black people. And I think niggas need to stop. Niggas need to stop. Niggas don't know whether they from here or there or no, this didn't happen, this happened. And, look, check this out. Apparently, the continent of Africa, if you look at them, right, they look a lot like us, right? I would also say, I don't believe anyone is native to North America. No, I don't think so. Okay. Not even the natives. I think they came from elsewhere. Right. Now, do I think there was some black people here before the British? It's totally possible. But to say that most of us were here, like heavily, no, I don't agree. This idea that we look like Native Americans, I don't agree with it. You look at the average Native American, they look very Asianish. I'm on the West Coast. I see people from Polynesia, and then I see people from Alaska. They look like natives. Okay. They do not look alike. Right. But this idea that, oh, we were here already, we didn't come from Africa, that would debunk a lot of shit. Again, more bullshit that fucks up your reparations case. These tribes, which ain't around anymore, I mean, you might as well be suing like the ancient Egyptians or like the old Roman Empire or some shit. These tribes, their total involvement in the slave trade was selling some niggas. The American slave situation is very unique to most of the world. They bred slaves here. The way the slave trade was carried out in the rest of the world was different than what happened in America. Not only that, but reparations is not just based on that. It was also based on promises that America made to black people that were not fulfilled. Things that were taken away during Reconstruction and shit from Jim Crow and all of these things. All of that is wrapped up into what reparations is. And that has nothing to do with Africa, right? So what are you suing Africa for? What damages, if you were to find the Dahomey tribe chilling under a rock of Wakanda or some shit like that, what would be the damages that they would owe you? What is the case built on? Just like I would ask him, how do you prove that you lost $250,000 worth of business because I said your skills as a lawyer is trash? Can you prove that the people that would have hired you watched my channel and heard me say what I said about you? Can you prove that? Right? I would imagine that if a motherfucker who practices law that has a YouTube channel saying the shit that he says on YouTube, Lord, his business would be impacted by his own channel. You have to prove that the people that would have hired you saw my shit and decided not to give you some money. That's why you suck, Dennis. That shit will get thrown out immediately. Let's listen to some more. I already don't agree with this woman, though.
Right? Nobody sold you into slavery, right? Because you didn't come from Africa, brother. Nobody sold you into slavery. Now, when it comes to me, I know I came from Africa for sure, for certainly, absolutely. 100% authentic African man. But she's not speaking for me. She's speaking for Dennis Sperling, right? Dennis Sperling. She said, right, out of Africa theory, that's fake, fabricated. Let's continue.
But what they don't tell you is them pushing this out of Africa theory is actually a political tool. It's used politically, right? Its whole narrative is if everyone came out of Africa and went to other places, then that means everyone is an immigrant. And if everyone is an immigrant, no one has rights to any land. So let's actually look at the science, since everybody thinks that they're a biologist, right? All living things, plants, animals, and people come from bacteria. Bacteria evolved wherever.
I'm done. I don't want to hear anymore. Hold on. Let's yeah, this is stupid. Okay. All right. Hey, Rob, thank you for the video, but nah, said debunked by Tariq Nasheed, foot soldier. Yeah, this is pretty goofy. I'm good on Shorty. Let's get this out of here. But look, revisionist history. So you telling me back when they drew the images of the boats with black people in them, and they drew the maps showing the routes from Africa to these different places where they would drop these slaves off, they figured 400 years later that this was this grand mass. Y'all give white people too much credit. That's a master plan over a half a millennia ass shit. Like, y'all give white people too much credit. God damn it. Anyway, I'm about to bring my people on, but before I do, for anybody, I ain't been keeping up with the chat, but I'm gonna say this, right? Because right now we got a subscriber thing on here where you got to be a subscriber to comment in the chat. But if anybody decides to wait the 60 minutes that it'll take after they subscribe now to then come in here and talking that shit, I'm gonna tell you, anybody that was in that community tab, if you are so bold that you want me to post a link that you want to talk to me about this, let me know. I will expose you for being the fucking retard that you are. How do you find out who we're suing? Do we run DNA tests on the descendants of these tribes? Or do we want them to volunteer that information? How do you find out who's related to these people? Because it ain't the governments of these countries. It's tribes from half a millennia ago. If you got something to say intellectually to me, because y'all Twitter fingers are Twitter bitches. Y'all bold on the community tab and y'all bold in the comments, but when I get on here and I offer the link, you're turning to fucking mush. Lords Love Smith, where you at? All of you guys that were on my community tab talking about I'm a tether and all of this other shit, where you at? I told you I was coming. I told you I was going live. Where you at? I ain't gonna mute your mic. I ain't gonna drop you, but you better come correct. And if you say some stupid shit, I'm gonna call you all types of dumb motherfuckers, man. if you think this is a good idea to sue Africa, the continent of Africa, the United States of Africa, right? If you think this is a good idea, this is a solution, because Marcus don't present no solutions. The solution is to go after the government we currently under. The one that's continuing to oppress right now. That's the solution, you dumb fuck. The problem with the space is, yo, too many niggas got mics, too many niggas get to talk. Too many goofies in this motherfucker, man. Anyway, how deep we in here? 40-something minutes in. I'm bringing my panel up, man. But I'm going to tell you, my moderators are on deck. Trolls, you come in here with the dumb shit, right? When I say dumb shit, I mean dumb shit. You come in here with some shit that makes sense, I'm going to invite you up. You come in here with that dumb shit, okay? I'm going to drop your ass like a bad habit. If your name ain't on the marquee, you don't hit this link. Here's the link. I'm going to post it in the chat. My guests know who they are. Y'all niggas, come on up. Where the fuck is Ty City? Until Ty City comes here, I'm going to bring up my man, Adrian Hicks. Adrian, I'm going to need you to hit that link. Yo, I'm not going to play with niggas coming at me. Marcus, are you a tether? Nigga, suck rhinoceros dick, nigga. Suck a rhinoceros dick, nigga. Suck an ejaculating rhinoceros dick, nigga. Okay, now without further ado, I got my man Adrian Hicks. I got my man Tight. I got my man Dr. Thunder. I wasn't even going to cam up today. But last minute I said, all right, why not? And y'all ain't cam up. Ain't this some bullshit? All right, so look.
Hey, I asked you beforehand, so.
Nah, I'm gonna stay on. Anyway, so talk to me, fellas. You know, I want to start with Adrian, because me and Adrian was talking earlier, and Adrian got something that that he wants to throw up. Was it the dentist thing, or was the other thing? You know, it was the political thing, right, Adrian?
Yeah, so we had talked.
So hold on before we get into that, because I want to wrap up this dentist thing. I'm gonna go to Tice. Tice, you wanted to say something about the dentist situation, because I don't want to zigzag. I want to get this dude up out the conversation and keep it moving. But I am going to ask each one of you's opinions of this, and then I'm going to have to get Ty City's opinion of this. But I'm going to start with Tice. Tice, talk to me.
Hey, good afternoon. Salute to the chat. Good to see a lot of old faces, old names, and what have you. You know, salute to the panel, Adrian. What's up, Dr. Thunder? How you living, man?
What up?
Look,
doing all right.
You know, man, this is gonna be painful. The space has too many dick riders and too many follow the leader type of things. Whoever blows up big, they're that person's best friend and all of this. You know, when Dennis here, I was always skeptical on Dennis, but I always gave him a pass in a sense. But then it started off to me with when he lied about the chick that Kevin was with and that they were engaged and acting like he was representing the family. And then when the cousin came and said, we don't even know who this guy is or whatever, and it's like, damn, they said that. Then you see I think you got a video on his complete flip-flopping back and forth. Today,
two videos, bro. Two videos.
And look, I respect the guy showing off his I wouldn't put my kids on the internet, but respect the fact of him showing off his kids and things like that in a positive way and things like that. But then he tries to act like, you know, like because I'm this, I can do this. Now, 11th grade, 12th grade debate student could tell you that this lawsuit has no standing, no statutes, and you don't sue a motherfucking continent of 56 nations. I mean, and now here's where I get a little controversial, but I think we have a better reparations case suing over Jim Crow than slavery. That's another conversation. But we have more things where actual statutes are violated, whereas slavery, whether we like it or not, was legal at the time, okay? But for him to be saying this like it's something serious, like you had mentioned, there's many brothers that actually need some legal work, and that it may not be in his accident injury field, but he could say, okay, you could go to this paralegal society, or you could do this, or you could do this, or read Black's Law Book or something like that. And I've never heard him say anything like this. So to just do this, and then when the brother summarily dissected him, and I guess he was feeling bad because he called him a disheveled, failed lawyer, which Dennis does look quite disheveled oftentimes. You know, I mean, let's just keep it 100. You know, no pun intended. You know, anyway, I'm going to be nice about his appearance. But for him to do that to this young brother who, like he said, could be his son or whatever, it just shows. So you got time to do this Jake Steed ass rapping. And to some of you guys who know the old school porn might know about Jake Steed. But anyways, I digress there. You got time to file a useless lawsuit. And I get it. Some people say, well, maybe it's just conversation or some ideas. Get the blip out of here. If that was the case, he would be like, look, you know, I'm working with some other gentlemen or whatever, you know, and we're working to put something together. And here's what we've done so far. It's just talk. Completely just talk. I left this in your comment section. I just couldn't believe the dick, like this comment. So because you disagree that his lawsuit has no standard, now suddenly you caping for Africans. I mean, there's some dumbasses in this space, man. And that's why I'm like, damn, I can't vouch for it anymore. But that's pretty much what I got on it. You know, Dennis has been a fraud. Dennis has flip-flopped. It's on record that he's flip-flopped. You know, so why should we even take him seriously when he doesn't take himself that? Better call Spurl. Shout out to Free Zone.
My man says you can file claims against all of them. All of who? The whole. They want to sue the whole Africa. So we're gonna sue Ethiopia, Egypt,
right. East Coast country,
South Madagascar, South Africa. Like these guys are serious. So they're all guilty. Sue all of them. Sue all of them. They want to sue the whole nation of Africa.
And these are brothers we supposed to be confederate with. I can't be confederate with these idiots, man. I'm sorry.
My man says they have to do a lineage test. Y'all want to test the blood of the whole Africa? You know how many USs you could put in Africa? God damn, these niggas are dumb. I swear, hey, look, fuck all the bullshit. The whole Africa. They want to test the lineage of the whole Africa, bro.
Hey, hold on. Let me add one more thing, my brother Marcus. Slipknot made a good point. This dude supports Umar. Game over right there. This dude actually compared Umar to Malcolm X. So I got to hear a lawyer talk this nonsense about somebody who hasn't built a lemonade stand. Man, I'm done again.
Yeah. So anyway,
no, that school is coming, bro. The school's coming.
Yeah. Marcus is the type of guy to be like, it won't work. No, you're right, Lord Love Smith. Let's test the whole Africa DNA and see who's related to the tribes. And then let's garnish their African money. You know, some African guy is living in, I don't know, South Africa. He works somewhere like, I don't know, maybe he's a janitor. Let's garnish his paycheck. That'll work. I won't provide an alternate to what's being proposed. Don't start a fight with an eternity unless you got the I don't know what the fuck else that he said, but unless I got the what? I fought several attorneys. Anyway, we moving on, man. Hey,
He might sue us.
hey, listen. Said what Leon said. He said, I believe some Africans, Moors, and even Asians did travel before Columbus found Americas, but that still aligns those who stayed here as outsiders. I thank you for the super chat. I don't argue against that. I don't argue against that. But there's an idea that most black people that are in America were here before that. Most, right? I'm opposed to that idea. Tito is here. Let me add Tito. And I know, shout out to Tito. Tito's in the building. I know Tito. I never said this to Tito. Tito about to bite my motherfucking head off because I was like, I want no smoke with Tito, right? But I'm opposed to that, and I think that it hurts our shit. It hurts our shit. So let me drop this down, right? And let's get to the discussion. I'm gonna start with Adrian first. Adrian, drop what you was about to tell us.
Well, I mean, we got to give a little bit of context, right? We were talking about political platforms whereby we might, or we could have rather, had an administration that was more friendly to the idea of reparations. And, you know, for some reason that I can't figure out, we tend to always throw our lot in behind the Democrats. And now, you know, we're moving plantations over to the Republicans. But Jill Stein clearly had a platform talking about reparations. So much so, and this gets to what it is that you wanted me to read. On her platform, it's still up on her website. You can still find it. One of the points was reparations in the agenda to facilitate Black liberation. So the Jill Stein administration will guarantee as a human right reparations to the descendants of African slaves for the historic crime of enslavement. Reparations is a cornerstone of the Black agenda, but reparations is far from the only policy needed to begin the redress that has been stolen from the Black community over 400 plus years. Scholars and activists who have studied and formulated propositions for reparations itself have put the minimum cash value of reparations at 12 trillion to be paid to those who claim legitimate descendancy from enslaved Blacks prior to the Civil War. This number is derived not only from the stolen labor prior to 1865, but also the reneged promise of Field Order 15, commonly referred to as 40 acres and a mule, which was never made good upon.
Right.
We can just stop right there, Marcus, if that's what you're after.
No, we can start right there. One quick thing I will say to Lord Love Smith, because he did comment, right? He was lurking. He said, I'm still at work, but here's my position. I'm always going to trust a professional Black man over YouTube niggas. Dennis, first of all, is a YouTube nigga. Let's start there. Okay. And I you know, how successful is this YouTube nigga that's masquerading as a lawyer?
I won't even get into that.
Yeah.
Like nobody.
Yo, these niggas love anybody with a suit on, bro. Like,
Right.
How successful is this nigga? This nigga spends more time here than practicing actual law, bro. Now,
Yeah.
you said you'll be off at 6:30. I take that to mean that when you get home, you're gonna jump on this motherfucker. I would love to hear you, KL. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. I would love to hear you explain to me how this makes sense, right? And then we're going to move on with the political discussion. But I would love for you to explain to me how this makes sense. Again, lawyers are goofies too, my nigga. There's no basis of nothing here, okay? And law is something that you can be informed about outside of getting a degree. You know, it's not limited to motherfuckers who go to school for it. But at any rate, you know,
Marcus, can I say something real quick?
Absolutely.
You know, to your point that you were just making, I think this was much less about actually getting reparations for Black Americans and having more to do with just, self-aggrandizement.
It's YouTube content.
Showing himself to be a darling of the Trump administration. Why would you reach out to Trump for this?
Right.
Because he's the president, maybe.
But do you think that Trump will get your
Trump's
letter?
not going to do shit about reparations for Black people. Come on.
I don't think Black people are going to do shit about reparations for Black people. It's just fucking talk. Let's just take the gloves off.
Well, we can take the gloves off, but I don't believe that for a heartbeat.
As I mentioned to you on Facebook, HR 40 has been on the book since 1988. If any one of these so-called Black people on the right or left or their constituents gave a goddamn about it, they would be begging their representative or their senator to run this through, that John Conyers filed. It's just a simple talking point. Now, to your Jill Stein point, listen, what is Black liberation? What are you not free to do? What are you not free to do? Such as?
Not be arrested for trumped up bullshit reasons forever and ever.
When was the last time When was the last time you were arrested for trumped up bullshit?
We're not gonna do anecdotal bullshit, bro. I'm sorry. This anecdotal bullshit. You can look at the fucking stats. You can look at the fucking stats and see who's getting arrested more and for longer.
Excuse me. I just wanted. I'm sorry to get in between you, Sir Tyson and
Adrian.
Excuse me. I just wanted to say something. Now, some people might think that it's a kind of a strange claim that most so-called Black people are indigenous to here. And actually, I heard somebody reference Dane Calloway. I actually made a video that predates Dane Calloway saying a lot of the same things. That was called the root slave narrative is whack, right? And I pointed out a lot of different things in there. I'm not trying to convince anybody to agree with me, but I'll just offer you this, especially since you got a New Yorker, and I know it's other New Yorkers in here. That part of y'all city, the Verrazano Narrows, that's named after an Italian explorer that was under the employ of the French. And when he first landed in New York and went upriver, he said that today we stood on top of a hill and we observed a tall, well-muscled people with copper-colored hair, with copper-colored skin and coarse hair, whose appearance differed little from Ethiopians. Then you add to that Mexico's foremost paleontologist, Carlos Cuevas Marquez, wrote, and I quote, "Before the arrival of the European, before Hernan Cortez, North America was a Black continent." And he says that because of the picture of the last two full-blooded Aztecs are light-skinned Black people. And on top of that, you have to consider the gaslighting that a lot of these paleontologists and archaeologists will come at you with. They will frequently say that, oh, this culture overtook that culture. Like when they talk about the mound builders in Ohio, they'll say that, oh, the fort wilderness culture overtook the Fort Ancients culture. When they say that, that's really a euphemism for these Siberian people came into this area that was occupied by indigenous Black people and killed them all. When you talk about, or they say the Hopi overtook the Anasazi, and then you think about what the Anasazi, what the word Anasazi means in the Hopi language. The word Anasazi in the Hopi language means strange enemy. Now, if these were Siberian looking people fighting against other Siberian looking people, what would be so strange about them? Why would you call them strange enemy? You would call them strange energy because unlike you, they have melanin in their skin. They tall because most of the motherfuckers is 4'10", and they have knotted hair. That's why they call them strange enemy, because their appearance was strange to them. But it's more than enough archaeological evidence. It's more than enough circumstantial and anecdotal evidence and accounts from explorers that will certify that a significant portion of so-called Black people they were actually indigenous here. The number could really never be known because when white people came here, their diseases outran them, right? Even though they might have came onto the shore in Chesapeake Bay, they damn diseases would be all the way in Ohio in a week. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them, and while white people want to try to present themselves as conquering heroes, most of those, and I'm gonna shut down the ignorant ass nigga in the comment section in a minute, but most of those villages that they found were completely empty. They were completely empty. Now, to this dumb nigga Michael M., whose grammar school teacher and high school teacher obviously failed him, nigga, the indigenous people that you see are a mixture of white, regular white people, Italian people, Eastern Europeans, and Mexicans. That's what they push out in front of your dumb black ass and say, oh, they indigenous. But meanwhile, you have the paper genocide that occurred after the Trail of Tears. Why don't you go look that up? Why don't you come off this live and take your ass down to your library, nigga? Okay? I get real tired again, such little pay for making up and filling the gap for people with university educations that should have taught you niggas better. I get tired of it. This is what I have to do every fucking day when I come on YouTube. Everything I'm saying is easily fucking researchable, right? There's also a cohort of people that would be designated as so-called black people that actually came from Europe. Those wars that were occurring at the time were race wars, right? So you actually have a few so-called black people who have European heritage. You look at all of them Scottish coats of arms and shit, they got heads on there that look like yours, except without the glasses and the Yankee cap.
So let me say this, right? And to this conversation, right? Now, those who follow me on Facebook, they know that a few days ago, I posted on my page that I found out that on my father's side, my grandfather's mother was Native American. But that, you know, I think
wait a minute. By you being a New Yorker, y'all actually, New York and Connecticut and New Jersey actually represents the most densest areas of where there were still black aboriginals left when the European got here. When you talk about King Philip's wars, you talk about the Pequot wars, those were fought against black people.
Right. But my point is this. My grandmother herself was Black American, right? And I'm sure that her husband's mother's husband was Black American. I think what happens is black people mixed with Native Americans, right? And that's one thing. That's one point I'm making. Another point I'm making is, again, I won't argue against the idea that black people were here before, you know, Columbus, or before the Europeans, before the British, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, that doesn't necessarily, because there are large leaps in logic being made to say that, well, all of this other stuff as far as the slave trade and the boats and the routes and everything.
Wait a minute, Marcus. The slave trade. Notice they use the term the slave trade. That indicates two-way commerce of slaves. A lot of people, that was the mechanism that they used to depopulate the East Coast, is they took niggas everywhere. How do you think you go in Panama and the black people don't look no different from you?
Check this out. I understand that, but I don't want to get wrapped up in the semantics of it. Okay. What I'm saying is, and I ain't mad at what you said, but what I'm saying is, if we're making an argument that most of the black population in America was already here and did not come.
I didn't say most. I said a significant portion.
Okay, well, I've heard people say most.
Okay.
Right? I've heard people say most. Right? Even the girl in the video that we were just playing, the video, if you listen to her talk, you would think nobody came from Africa. I think that every few years goes by, we create a different origin story for niggas. right? And and my thing is there would have to be a great conspiracy and forethought put into creating all this documentation to then one day form America and say, well, y'all niggas came from over there, y'all wasn't here, so this belongs to us. To be honest, white people don't have to create a story like that to say that they own something. They take it. The motherfucker with the gun ain't got to explain to you why he owns your shit. He just takes it from you. So why would you create a narrative when you just manifest destiny shit? Like, it doesn't make sense. It sounds like a lot of it revisionist history to me. Like, if there's some truth to it, let's get to the truth of that. Let's get to something that sounds more plausible than to say nobody that's black in America came from Africa, right? There was no ships, and that the diagrams and all this other stuff is fake and all of this other stuff. And the Native Americans are really black people and all. Look, bro, I live on the West Coast. I see a lot of natives over here. They don't look black to me. Some like people from Polynesia, you know, you got people from Samoa and things like that. I see black people or what looks like black people here and there, but those people from back, no, bro, they have very distinct features that don't look like any Negroes that I ever seen in my life, bro.
Wait a minute, by you being on the West Coast, that's actually one of the most vicious battlegrounds of, you know, when they talk about this euphemism overtook. When you talk about the Clovis people, you talk about the people on Catalina Island, they found a lot of not even mass graves, just bodies that was just left out there of so-called black people that was killed with all manner of injuries, you know, bow and arrow shots to the back of the head, shots to the fucking front of the face where it shattered their cheekbones, bashed against the side of the head with rocks. But I mean, I could put together about a 2 or 3 hour live with everything that you're looking for.
No, I don't again. I don't deny
Can,
any of this
can we
stuff.
not? Can we not? We burnt a lot of time on the clock tonight.
So what do you mean? Can we not do it? I'm listening.
No, the 2-3 hour live on that.
I mean, on my channel. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
No, we're not doing that here. We're not.
I was just kind of trying to. I was trying to nudge.
We know that you hate black people and
know,
anything black, but I meant on my channel.
It's not even that, bro. I just didn't want to come up here to debate that history with you guys. Like, we kind of turning this into a whole other thing.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say this, and then we'll move on.
Oh, hey Marcus, tell them what my channel is, because they won't let me type it in the damn chat, because this channel was banned.
What?
Tito the Legendary. It's
Tito the Legendary. I mean,
yeah. Y'all heard that?
Does anybody follow Tito already? I'll you know what? Type it in the can you type it in the that private?
Yeah, I'll type it in a private chat for you.
I got you.
Copy and paste that shit. All right.
I got you.
Oh, okay, you got it. So what I'm gonna say is this, and we can move on. I think Adrian has some other things to present, and then I want to also talk about, you know, immigration and, you know, ICE and all of that stuff, right? And then Hood, if you got anything to add, this is what I want to say as far as this theory, right? I wouldn't deny, I wouldn't be against the idea that there might have been some black people here, and those black people might have got mixed up in what became the American slave trade, right? I wouldn't be, you know, opposed to that. But I mean, shit, Native Americans owned slaves also. We do know
black
that.
people were everywhere all over the earth on just about every continent. In fact, every continent. So the idea that they wouldn't have also been here.
Yeah, free people
kind of ridiculous.
Own slaves too.
Right.
Wait, are we talking about melanated people, or are we talking about when we say black people? You say we're everywhere. What are we saying?
I'm talking about folks who do look phenotypically black. Black is very diverse.
I think what he's saying. Explain, but break it down. What you're saying, Doc.
Yeah. So the first folks that were called black were Black Americans.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand that, but I mean, when I say black, the picture pops up in your head. You think of somebody who is black, pinky hair, larger lips.
Right.
That's why I was
melanated. Right.
Yeah. So that's I was just I was just seeking for some clarity.
Right. But what I'm saying is, I hear people often say that all of us were here already and nobody came on the ship. It's all a hoax and yada. This is what I'm saying. It gets to the point where this type of thing gets exaggerated into some hyperbolic bullshit. And
the numbers that they claim were not possible for the technology and for the routes that they were taking back then. I'll say that. And I said that, like I say, my indigenous content predates Dane Calloway, right? I made a video called The Root Slave Narrative back in 14, at the end of 14. And I talked about the fact that you would have to, when it comes to provisions for these, when they have the slave diagram with the people stacked back to foot and all that shit, you would have to have a whole nother ship full of food and water for them. When you look at the size of a ship's galley back then, it's smaller than a guest closet in a modern house. There's no way that they would have been able to prepare food for all of those people. Even if you did just feed them beans, slop, porridge, or whatever, you wouldn't have been able to do it. And then there's the question of having fresh water. It's not gonna rain every day. So you telling me you got 300 people plus the crew, and you gotta get them all fresh water. And another thing that I brought up is that it's strange that we can find shipwrecks all the way going back to the Punic Wars and the Peloponnesian Wars and the Battle of Jutland, but you can't find a whole bunch of slave ships. You don't find a whole bunch of purpose-built slave ships. And then there's another thing to figure out: maritime insurance. Maritime insurance has been a part of European culture ever since the late 1400s. So if you're talking about, and they will tell you, oh, well, slaves were more valuable than gold. So if you have maritime insurance and slaves were more valuable than gold, and you're going to have 300 of them at a time, then who's going to be able to underwrite their loss? Nobody. That would bankrupt a small country. So that would speak to the fact, or not the fact, that would speak to probably the thought that the scale wasn't as large as they said, that they probably most likely only brought them here probably really 15 to 20 of them at a time. Because remember how you're going to feed them.
Let me just add, I didn't really want to go here, but there is hardcore archaeological evidence that Black people were here. Not all, but the one that most people are probably familiar with is the Olmec heads. Now, the Olmec heads are said to go back, I believe, 800 or 900 BC. People don't make statues of other people. When you look at the Olmec heads, it'll probably look like a distant cousin of yours, and those are in, I believe, middle region of Mexico, or maybe a little bit south there. So bottom line, we were here. There's evidence of it, but
it's not a question.
And did we forget the fact that they had niggas on Confederate money with not with slave clothes on, with the same things that you would see Indians in? That was on Confederate money.
Well, the Confederate money is later. We talking about origins and who's native and who's not. I'm not.
Whatever you say.
Yeah,
whatever.
Again, I don't think that that's not in question for me.
Wait a minute. So not only is this nigga illiterate, he's blind. Michael M says them old man heads look like Samoans. They don't look like niggas. Boy.
We're gonna move right along.
Let's move on.
So Adrian,
and y'all take some of these comments too seriously. Okay, about this. No, my cousin look like that. Shut the fuck up, dude. God.
Adrian, talk to me, man. Where you at?
Yeah, what's up? I'm here.
What's up? Yeah. The thing, the Trump thing we were talking about earlier. Let's get into that.
You're talking about.
I'm trying to activate conservative here because he's been awful quiet. So
just answer my question.
No, the thing we were. Oh man,
I know what you're talking about.
Discussing earlier, man. Let's get into that.
We were talking about the increased budget for ICE and what I wouldn't be surprised if that leads to. Which is increased militarization, you know, purchase of military vehicles, you know, a lot more patrols, just, you know, in my opinion, you know, formation of a secret police that just takes orders directly from the top. I like the SS.
So are you like alluding to some sort of like martial law situation where we got all these guys walking around, guns out type of thing?
I mean, I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised.
And this is ICE doing this.
Sure.
Now, you was also saying something about homegrown deportations.
Well, it's just like the video that I sent you. Trump hasn't ruled out the possibility of deporting U.S. citizens. Said it himself.
Based on?
What do you mean based on?
Based on what?
Good question. I mean, you already had some. I guess, immigrants that were here that, you know, were are getting detained for op-eds that they write that weren't favorable to the government. So, you know, that just is kind of gloves off. You know, you get to do whatever you want.
So were they citizens already?
No, these are people who were over here, who were attending college, etc.
Right.
And we're getting detained because of writing op-eds that the current administration doesn't find favorable.
So then they weren't citizens.
Yeah, but that's not the point. They were here legally and attending school, and they wrote an op-ed that wasn't favorable to the administration. That's what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying, why they got deported, but we began this by saying deporting U.S. citizens. Well, these people that wrote op-eds that got deported don't fall under that category, so we can't talk about them.
That wasn't my point in saying it. My point in saying it is, and man, you'll have your chance, bro.
Okay, yeah, because I got something for you. Yeah.
Go ahead. You keep it.
Okay.
Anyway,
first of all,
nothing. Just shut up. Let me talk. Thanks. Appreciate it. Now, these people were here in a legal capacity, wrote something that the administration didn't like, and they're getting detained and or threatened for deportation.
No, you said that.
Right.
Yeah, you said that.
Now your question is why would he deport? Fuck you, nigga. First of all.
Hold on, Adrian, listen.
Fucking tough guy.
No, fuck you. I don't give a fuck
trying to
what
let
you
your
think.
illiterate ass know. I'm just trying to let your illiterate ass know.
Nigga, first of all, nobody's fucking talking. You should shut the fuck up, pedophile ass nigga. Shut up. Fuck you.
Naturalization is under the purview of the executive.
Fuck these niggas, man, for real.
Yo,
look, I sit here and I'm quiet while these dumbass motherfuckers sit here and get all they shit off, and I don't say a goddamn word. So fuck you, nigga.
Tell me,
fuck you for real.
Fuck
you. Fuck you, nigga. Fuck you and shut the fuck up.
Hold on. Be the only country
we
can have people here to shit on our motherfucking country, shit on our government, take jobs from our motherfucking citizens, and all of that shit. But then when somebody say something about it, we gotta show them deference that don't know other countries.
Ain't nobody said nothing like that. Strong man ass nigga. Ain't nobody even said that shit.
Tito, a hard border like every other country.
Ain't nobody even said anything about
that. Tito, he's not. Tito. Hold on. Where's my bell?
At the end of the day, nigga, when you get through,
man.
When you get through
naturalization and
immigration are under the purview of the executive branch. Illiterate ass nigga, just so you know.
Fuck you, illiterate ass, pedophile ass nigga. Fuck you.
Hold on. Learn how to read. I'm a mute mic.
I do read. Dumb bitch. Why don't you shut the fuck up?
With your feelings. Leading with your feelings.
All right. Hold on.
You couldn't beat my ass on your worst day, ho nigga.
Oh man, I must have missed his mic. Hey, Tito, chill a second. Check this out. This is the thing. Two things. Tito, he wasn't addressing that part of it. And Adrian, if you're gonna use that as an example, right now we're talking about deportation of citizens. This is why what you're using, the example you're using is kind of a bad example. You're saying that these people were deported because of some op-ed. Okay, but they weren't citizens. Right now, what we're trying to find out is who were citizens that got deported. If we're going to say that this is going to reach into territory about citizens, we can't make the example about some people that were here legally but were not citizens. If we can agree on that, then we can move on. We're going to stop saying the P word. We're going to, you know, you know, what you're saying, Tito, is correct, but is at this moment in time is not really relevant. But at the same time, Adrian, I got to be fair. What you're saying, your example you're using is not a good example, bro. You understand what I mean? So let's move forward. I need an example of some
First of all, it
American
isn't fair
citizens
because I'm not able to get my point off, bro. I'm not even able to complete my sentence without these niggas jumping in.
Okay,
and that's cool.
Okay,
I wasn't even going there saying that any American citizens had been deported yet. I'm trying to actually build the case here and talk about some shit, right? But you can't get nothing off because these niggas got to say something.
So go forward.
You know,
there's only one guy was talking to you, bro.
Fuck it. Look, hey, look, man. Fuck it. Let homeboy talk. Let him get his shit off. Like, fuck it.
No, I want to understand where you were going then. If you're saying that there was something else that you were going to add, then I want to hear what it is.
You're asking what his reasoning would be to deport somebody, and I was saying I don't know, and I was giving an example of how crazy shit has gotten right now to where we're detaining and or threatening to and or deporting people for op-eds. Simple shit.
First,
shout out to Tan. Hold on. Shout out to Tan. He said, hold that P word acting like a key. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, Tito, you were responding?
Yeah. In order for what you're talking about, Adrian, to take place, that will actually take a session to try to either repeal or amend the 14th Amendment. And for something like that, you need a protracted debate that has to be had first. In the whatever amendments are going to be proposed have to be proposed at the U.S. representative level. 2/3 of a majority have to approve it. Then it has to go to the Senate for further debate and to be checked further, right? And then so what you talking about is not even worth the political capital. What you talking about is a liberal fever dream. The 14th Amendment is here. The 14th Amendment is here to stay. And the example you gave is a non sequitur because you're talking about people who are here legally under student visas. You're talking about like Dominican baseball players that's under extraordinary abilities of visas and all of that shit. Now, when he says U.S. citizens, I can only speculate that he means people that have been naturalized like since they was kids and all of that shit when they got a green card and they don't came here and they in the Mexican mafia and they got like all these murders and shit and big ass drug trafficking cases. That's probably who you're talking about.
Can you play the video, Marcus?
If you're talking about natural born citizens, if you're talking about natural born citizens per Section 2 of the 14th Amendment, born under the jurisdiction of the United States, that would take you to have a ratification convention, and it's not worth the political capital and it's damn near impossible. Y'all come on here and talk about politics, but don't even understand the full measure of the law. And I'll land my plane right there.
Okay, so we're going to act like he isn't currently working as hard as he can to go around the courts, and that we didn't just have the whole issue between Amy Coney Barrett and Ketanji Brown Jackson talking about
what does that
getting
have
around the 14th
Amendment, sir?
Because that's what they're working. That's what they're working to repeal, bro.
They're not.
Okay,
you got to point to some. No, because the conversation flows like this, and nobody these damn niggas do. Now, the first thing you said that was wrong was it was an op-ed. No, sir, it was called anti-American protest. When you a visitor in somebody else's country, you niggas love to evoke this free speech shit here. But you know good damn well if your ass was anywhere else, you couldn't say half the shit you could say here. So when you say this and defend these fuckers who should be grateful that we're letting them in these universities, I personally think this illegal immigration shit should have ended 100 years ago. And to hear black people try to conflate one argument, oh, because they're doing it to these illegal motherfuckers. Fuck them. Fuck them. Let them go to school in their country since they hate our country so much. Okay.
I don't, Tice, I don't think that Adrian is advocating
He
for illegal.
But he's conflating two things that all of a sudden is going to seep down to them deporting us. We are natural citizens.
Just play the video, Marcus.
Inalienable rights. Now you may not believe it. You may not believe it because you believe that we're not free. I'll let you think that, but nobody's hindering me from doing shit. Okay, so I'll land my plane right there.
I'm gonna play the video now, and don't nobody say shit.
Wait, can I say one more thing?
No, wait. Let me, Tito. Let me just play the video, bro. Let me just play the video so we get it out of the way. Let me just play the video so we get it out the way. All right, so let me bring this up. This is what he actually said. Let's hear him say it.
A step further, I mean, I said it to Pam. I don't know what the laws are. We always have to obey the laws, but we also have homegrown criminals that push people into subways, that hit elderly ladies on the back of the head with a baseball bat when they're not looking, that are absolute monsters. I'd like to include them in the group of people to get them out of the country, but
okay. So that when I asked under what pretense, right? He just said it, right? Now, let's Tito, I want you to say what you had to say.
And let's not forget, among those that were deported was a woman that was actually being surveilled by the Air Force Special Operations Command because she got seen on a lot of drone cameras with people that were Hamas people and was at their weddings and birthday parties and all of that shit. And then when school would be back on, she would come right back over here and go to Columbia University. Like what are we actually defending here? Versus when you talk about these people that have all these different countermanding interests towards our country and natural born American citizens, what exactly are we defending?
So in the context of what he said, Adrian, he's talking about like, cause he didn't just say, let's just start throwing people out from here. I don't even think he can do what he said in that clip, right? The most you could do is jail somebody, right, for doing that. But he's talking about homegrown, right? I don't know.
Well, even then, you cut the clip off as soon as he said "but," like he was going to kind of close the whole statement with another going in a different direction. No, not you. I mean, whoever made the clip cut the clip off right after he was about to say something else to complete the thought, and so we're dealing with an incomplete thought.
I got you. So I just want Adrian's response to, because it's Adrian's clip. Because now that I heard the clip and I heard her, I hear the context of what the clip was being said in the clip. What do you say about that, Adrian?
It's one of several clips, and he's mentioned it several times here in more recent time. That's what I said about it.
All right. So Lloyd Love Smith says, this is for Tito with the strong and civic and political knowledge. When I say he's the best political mind in the space, I mean it. So, okay, that's what I think he means. This is for Tito with the strong civic and political knowledge. When I say he is the best political mind in the space, I mean it. All right, thank you for the super chat, Lord Love Smith. So he said, yeah, we natural citizens. Yeah, I don't think it's possible to deport somebody that's a born citizen here.
Excuse me, a naturalized citizen is a whole different category from somebody that is a Section 1 citizen born with both parents being under the jurisdiction of the United States on United States soil, and or at a United States embassy or military base. That's a whole different category.
I think this whole subject is a little bit of fear mongering. I have a question. I have a question. Is there any precedent of someone that is actually a citizen ever being deported?
No.
And if the answer to that question is no, then
All of this is political.
I mean, the word deported isn't even a
Dr.
proper word. You don't deport your natural citizens; you expel them, and it's never happened.
Yep. Dr. Thunder, even no matter how heinous your crime is, either they go bring you back or they go kill you. Now, the only American citizen that did get killed was Anwar al-Zawahiri, which was from New Jersey, and he got killed in 2014 under the Obama administration with a drone strike. It was unconstitutional because he had to have been brought back and tried for treason. Now,
I was just thinking about that guy,
and they brought him back, like that white guy in Australia. We got a white guy in Australia that used to be a pilot in the Marines, and he had the bright ass fucking idea of moving to Australia with his white wife with big titties, and deciding to go to China and teach the Chinese Navy pilots how to do carrier landings. And then he let them deposit the money in his personal account, $5 million. And as soon as he came back to Australia, they locked his white ass.
Stayed in China, boy.
Now he's fighting extradition. Yeah, and that's flat out treason right there.
Stayed your ass in Hong Kong. Anyway.
Yep.
Okay.
What Dr. Thunder makes a good point. Like, if we don't have a precedent for this, shout out to, it's just fear mongering. And I notice all sides do this, but they do it mostly to us. And dare I say, it's because many of us aren't well read and understanding civics and things. And it gets annoying because it's like we can't even just have a normal conversation. So I would like to suggest, if you're going to say something, you got to bring something to back it up. Okay, like here's this precedent. Okay, and here's what they did, and here's the proof of it. Just someone talking or saying something off the cuff or on the cuff. Listen, some may fear this stuff. You may get your news from Ricky Smiley. I'm not for sure, and believe in that. But that's the one reason, and one reason I'm very critical of the left personally is that they use black people like Trojan horses. Okay, we trump out their messages, then they completely forget about the black people that supported them. So whereas now they're just doing the fear mongering and pandering to them and all this theatrics and all that, and it just gets past annoying. Now, mind you, I've never been a Democrat, but I'm just saying it's like we follow that drum to a T, and then it's like there's no political sophistication.
Yeah. So the issue is, look, Americans are dumb. Period. It's not a disproportionately dumb black issue. The issue is allegiance. It's who the black population is loyal to. That's the problem. It's not education. I just wanted to point that out because that's one of the things that gets thrown at the black community frequently, is that we just a bunch of dumb ninjas, and then that's why all of this X, Y, and Z is happening. Now, granted, we could be doing things that are against our best interest, but I don't think that's for a lack of knowledge. It's because we're listening to the wrong people, and we just have a blind loyalty. And that racism issue is like sort of weaponized to cause black people to side a particular way, regardless as to what the other issues are.
So all right. So Maggie says denaturalization is a Supreme Court ruling, and many have been denaturalized and expelled or deported in U.S. history. It's happened many times, not never. Who wants to speak?
I'm willing to accept correction on that, but I'd like to hear details.
Yeah, but it hasn't been I'm gonna say this again, a Section 1 14th Amendment American citizen born under American jurisdiction by two parents that were also under American jurisdiction on American soil, or a territorial possession, or a military base, or an embassy.
Are we talking like Russian spies during the Cold War? Like what are we talking about?
Yeah, who are we talking about? Yeah, we talking about the goddamn Rosenberg. What are we talking about?
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I read it, and it's a correction, but I don't think it's important. And the reason why I don't think it's important is because of what one of you just said. If denaturalization, it's not like Trump can't push for deportation or expel, to expel people. But
look, even in that, to be denaturalized, you must be first naturalized. I mean, you aren't natural to this place. So what are we talking about?
So Maggie says it was absolutely a person born to 2 American citizens. So if it was that,
who was it?
How would they? Let me ask this. If it was a person born between 2 citizens, how are they naturalized? Were they born outside of the country? Like I'm trying to understand how this. So if you're born to 2 American citizens, are those citizens? Are they born here, or were they naturalized themselves? Like there's more to this than just, hey, some people were born in America and then they had a child in America and that person got deported and denaturalized. Like if they were naturalized in the first place, then you understand what I'm saying? That implies that they're not from here.
There's no case to that though. I'm gonna say this again: a Section 1 14th Amendment citizen born on U.S. soil, territorial possession, embassy, military base, to two parents who were also born under United States jurisdiction. There, I've looked before. I can't find anything like that.
Look, okay. In my estimation, this is a non-issue with respect to the Black community. This is like a non-issue. And what they try to do is they try to take this kind of issue and say, look, they coming for ninjas next. No, there's no history of them coming for ninjas in that way. Now there are other ways that they come against ninjas. We should be talking about that, but this isn't the way that they come after ninjas. And it's kind of that, like, we should be soft on, illegal immigrants because of how, the history that this country has with us, and, they could be coming for us next. And this is hogwash, man. I'm a musician, and I was just having to listen to some white liberal, talk other musician I was playing with, talk on this, talk about, now they're going to come. He's a naturalized citizen, right? So he's like, they're going to come for me next. I was like, man, I'm just done with that. That stuff is a zero issue. It's just taking the wind out of the sail of stuff that's actually important.
So look, okay, so aside from the Black people are in danger of getting deported thing, now I know, Adrian, you had alluded to some other things that were part of the Trump plan that were kind of like aligned with the Project 2025 thing, right? Aside from this deportation thing and the immigration thing that we might have been discussing, I think you said there was a certain percentage aligned with the Project 2025.
No, I didn't say anything about a percentage.
You said that his like the things he would do.
Whatever happened to Project 2025, by the way?
It's still out there.
It's out there. It's a think tank thing. Each side has think tanks. Marcus, I'm not jumping the line in front of you. Most of the stuff was mostly reasonable in it. Here, Marcus, I'll let you continue on this because I do have something to say about something else related, but continue. Pardon me for just jumping in.
On what? No. Talk to me. No, because I was
2025.
Well, Trey, respectfully, and we generally agree on this. Some people who wrote or authored Project 2025, this is going off the dome. It was done by the Heritage Institute. Heritage Institute is basically a right think tank. There are plenty of other think tanks on each side. I'm sure Dr. Thunder probably knows people who are members of these, of these type of organizations. But so Trey, what I was saying is that people who are some of the people who did write things in Project 2025 are on Trump's administration right now. I think Project 2025 was a lot of fear mongering. Also, people like to take one thing out of context and say, see, this is what he means, this is what he means, but they couldn't even tell you that, hey, this is a policy thing, a policy position that they want to put into place, just like the left did, just like when they flooded our border with illegals in 2021. They were already planning to do that in the meantime from their various think tanks and NGOs. So I would like to hear, Adrian, if you can remember what you were saying about it, I'd say so. But I will say something controversial about Trump, since it's considered that those who voted for Trump, I'm happy to say I did. I'm not hiding from it. All that MAGA supporter, that shit is not a slur to me. It's a slur to here. It just sounds silly a name call it. But
yeah, I did too.
I didn't agree with the Iran strike, but I understood why he did it. But it really showed me how much, and I hate for discussions to get into this area, but it really showed me how those people we cannot name really have their hands on a lot of things.
Let me ask you something right now. People say this and that about Trump and Project 2025, and any of you can answer this question. Any of you on the right side. And where the fuck is Tie City? But how much of what Trump is doing is out of the Project 2025 playbook?
I would say about maybe 25% in respect to I'm not gonna say austerity, but in respect to the cuts that you see with certain parts of the social safety net, if you want to call it that, about 25%. Like, it was one part that, because I did a live about Agenda 2025, and it pointed out in there that I think they said during World War II we had 10 different flag officers. And what's crazy, I didn't even realize the mass proliferation of generals and admirals that we had in the military ever since then. But then when I really thought about it, goddamn, I could name all 10 of them that we had in World War II. Hap Arnold and Patton and Eisenhower and Bradley and all of them. I could name them. And I'm like, damn, yeah, we did have so few. And he was saying that we have like 45 of them now. And he was go cut it back to their World War II number. And he hasn't done that. That's an example of a really big and important one too, of something out of 2025 that he didn't do.
So there's if I could jump in real here. There's and I see the comment, the Department of Education abolishment part of Project 2025.
Adrian, I got a lot to say about that.
But go ahead.
Here. Yeah, so there's a difference between there being things in Project 2025, which is a Heritage Foundation is a conservative, so think tank, right? So, and stuff that happens this Trump administration, they could do similar things and it not be related, if you understand what I mean. So I think what people are doing is they're saying, see, look, Project 2025, it says X, Y, and Z, and look, we're doing some of those things or one of those things. That doesn't mean that Project 2025 was the source.
Well, Dr. Thunder, can I add to this? Yeah, let me add to this real quick. In 1976, Jimmy Carter ran against George Ford, blah, 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 blah. It was hotly contested, the teachers' vote. We all know that the teachers' vote is a very prized, treasured vote. Jimmy Carter basically said that he will create a Department of Education if he gets the vote, and that's what gave him the nod or whatever, right? So it was created in 1979. At that time, America was actually #1 in global education, okay? Now, let me add some more just context to this, because this is very important. We're barely 25 years after Brown versus the Board of Education, right? In 1979. And then in the 70s, what happened? Busing. So the Department of Education was initially created just to make sure that the money that was allocated to various states was getting distributed equally, all right? That was its only purpose. Later on, they got in and messed with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, basically saying you can't discharge student loans. And that's when we hear the increase of you can't get a job, you go to college and all this. And our standards started to get low. It was the Department of Education that brought in Common Core. Now I believe we're top 20 in education, and that is a damn shame, you know. So when people hear the whole, oh, he's trying to get rid of the Department of Education, no, they don't know the background. That department is completely wasting money, and the states are better at distributing those funds. The teachers' unions are very much against school choice. Whenever I hear people talk about school choice or are against it, I'm already suspect of them. Like, wait a minute, why wouldn't you want your kids to have an opportunity at a school? Oh, I get it, because these teacher unions are gassing you, saying, oh, the charter schools and whatever are going to misuse the money. But I just wanted to give some real context of why the Department of Education really needed to go.
The thing is, right, a lot of these programs like Project 2025 and earlier, it was the birthright thing and getting deported. People bring up a lot of fear-mongering stuff. And two things. One, it's not like we haven't already had a President Trump. And I don't remember President Trump rounding up niggas the last time around. Like it's not a thing. All the imaginary racism you thought was going to happen, he could have tried it the first time. Now, the second time around, you have to ask yourself, was life, I mean, especially if you're like coming from a black perspective in that way, was life better or worse for Trump? I mean, was life better or worse for black people during the first Trump administration? And right now, is Trump making life worse for black people, black men especially right now? All these other things are kind of just like philosophical fear mongering. It's not a really real thing.
So Maggie says about 1/3 of Project 2025 has already been implemented, and around 66% of Trump's executive orders mirror Project 2025.
Okay, let's say that's true. How does that hurt you though? Let's say that's true. How has that hurt you or any black people you love?
Well, it depends on what it's mirroring, but you know.
Again, what, your gay cousins can't get married down at the YMCA no more? I'm sorry.
You say what now?
I don't know. I'm just being glib. Like, what, your gay cousin can't get married at the YMCA now? What you want?
I'm sure 66% ain't about that, but
hey, hold
on. What I'm realizing is this is this is why I needed Ty City here, man. This is why I needed Rob too. This panel is leaning too far right.
No, but hold on a second.
It's the quasi right.
Why do we accept that number? Okay. I beg anybody to read Project 2025. That shit is 920 pages. There's no way one person is that knowledgeable of it. Sorry. Not even those who implement.
Honestly, I wish we had the President Trump that everybody's afraid of. Like, he is nowhere near the monster that people want him to be. I want him to be all the evil things that y'all afraid of. He ain't doing none of this stuff, bro. Nigga went and kissed the wall. I'm good, bro. Now that we got him, you know, I'm good. MAGA's done after this.
It's too much. Yo, it's too conservative. Adrian, I need you to say something, bro. I need some pushback.
No, I'm listening. I wait my turn, bro.
No. Well, it's your turn now.
I just sent you a tracker for Project 2025.
Okay.
There are outfits that are tracking how much of the stuff is getting implemented.
When did you
pull it up if you wanted to? You can. It's on your text.
Okay. While I pull that up,
do you think while you're pulling it up,
right?
I'm not one of these damn. Listen. I'm born in the damn United States. This is my country, and yep, I do wave that damn flag. Anybody got a problem with it? Come see me about it. You know what I'm saying? You know. I get tired of all of this, and I'm saying, speaking in general, nobody has said this, you know, on the panel or whatever. I get tired of all this, you know, if you a conservative or if you're this, you don't look at the compassion of people and all this. That's complete nonsense. Let's be real, man. The country was really going off the rails. You don't have a secure country if you're letting people in the door. And then what really kills me is all black people saw. I don't want to keep harboring on this immigration thing, but it's just too obvious to not discuss. We literally saw people who are not who are not legal get, you know, what's that word that the Tariqites love to say? Get tangible assets, ATM cards, housing,
Cars.
healthcare vouchers. We got a mayor. Thank you. We got a mayor in LA right now who says she's going to give these illegals something and to protect them from
Ain't she a black woman?
Now she's a hard.
Yes, Karen
Like
Bass.
theoretically,
Karen Bass.
theoretically, she's black. She look a little Latina to me, but never mind.
She's
The
a
thing is,
hardcore-
what's
It's
let me
Karen
ask you
Bass.
guys
She
a
didn't have
question, 'cause,
any,
you know, it's a black
agenda for
thing.
black folks when she ran. She was on the left, specifically didn't have anything for black people. Black folks tried to say something about it, but you know, she rode hard with the Hispanics and still won, despite not having an agenda for black people.
Like I said, she sounds Latina to me. But anyway, what's the point of voting black right now?
I wanted to say I need to know what the methodology is of this tracker, how this actually works. What is it? What does it count as something being what percentage of it happening?
This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have Adrian break it down. This is his link. So Adrian, let me talk to us about what I have on screen.
No, it is what it exactly what it looks like, right? It's talking about Project 2025 and how much of it, according to this website, has been implemented or is in process.
Okay, so let me click on some stuff here. So overall progress. Let's click down. Cut budget of USA completed.
Right. Do we need to be doing like transgender plays in Guatemala? There's something about USA that we desperately needed. Do we need to buy like AIDS medicine for African homosexuals? Do we need to be paying for all this shit?
You are so hyperbolic, bro.
No, he's not. He's not being hyperbolic.
No, I'm not, bro. Stop accusing me of going too far. You niggas haven't seen too far. I've been so chill. You don't even know how bad it is.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. All right. Because I ain't said shit in a minute. What I mean is, I'm sure 100% of the funding is not going over there. But you know, for Guatemalan homosexuals,
a lot of it is getting laundered.
If some of look, check this out. If some of the money is, I wouldn't debate it, right?
No, that's the thing. That's the thing. Most of the money didn't even get to the homosexuals that we were supposed to be saving. It all got stolen on the way. It just thefts all the way down, bro.
So okay, so let's scroll down, man. Let's scroll down.
While you're scrolling, I want to mention something about Musk. Musk is a bitch ass motherfucker, and the reason why he did that shit with Trump is because they cut out his EV subsidy, which I was all for.
Because it's a bill of attainder on people who drive gas cars. Go in your Constitution and look up the bill of attainder clause.
So let me ask this. You guys don't think we have too much of a dependency on foreign oil?
No. We can drill our own. That's why we're doing this. Marcus, when Biden first came into office, the number one thing he did on day one was cut all the permits for the Keystone Pipeline. The Keystone Pipeline was was one of the entities, between Canada and the U.S., and it was just getting up to speed. And he deliberately stopped that and then fed into these globalists. You see, many of you guys like to say white supremacy. I like to look at it from the globalist perspective. All these WFO, the World Economic Forum, and all these people who said, oh, we need to have an EV mandate. California's grid right now, I'm using it as an example because they're the number one people that promote this stuff. Their grid can't even support the EVs that's on the road right now. And you know how we know that? We saw it last year when it got a little cold and, they were telling people you can't charge your cars. This is all a method of just trying to control the population. I'm not one of these
They already do that.
Right. Well, hold on a second.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
They're doing it. Listen, they're doing it gradually. Like I believe the whole scamdemic was a test. Was basically a simulation or whatever of how they can control. This is why I probably would be more libertarian than I am on the right per se. But what I'm just getting at is that, listen, I can be critical of the administration. I said I didn't like the what's the name strike. I said that this thing with Elon Musk. Now I had no problem with him finding all this money. And of course, I'll agree with you, Marcus, in that some of those things they did exaggerate some of the money that was spent, but then a lot of those things were real. You know, teaching this homosexual thing in some Latin American country and all this, and it just blows me away that people who, how do I say this, who claim to have they won't openly admit that they have a dependency on the government, but you can look at it all over TikTok and see all these videos about people proud of their food stamps and all that, right? You would think that they would love that they found all this waste money, you know, being spent. But dare I say, I just think that people just follow whatever is popular, you know, or
So
whatever.
I'm gonna say this in relation to that, but first I'm gonna read Narratives and Dialogues super chat. Thank you for that. Immigration does not just mean Latinos, Mexicans. Get these other tethers, same skin tone, skin folk, but anti-black folk out of here too. Kwafu,
Hey, if you go on the
Nino,
north side,
Kwafi Nino, right? So
Essence learned their lesson.
yeah.
Who?
Hey, they deporting
They
white
didn't, they
people
ain't
on the
learning
north
shit
side.
yet.
You
Oh,
learn
you-
me? They deporting white people on the north side. They not playing no games with this shit. This ain't.
Yeah, them
they
niggas
not
gotta go
targeting
too,
people
bro.
of color.
Anybody can get it.
They're
Anybody
not
can get it.
targeting people of color. I saw them deport a party bus full of white people on the north side the other day. That was mostly like Eastern Europeans.
Let me get this other super
Probably
chat.
Ukrainians.
Yeah.
Then I got something to say. Black Light Rob says Trump has floated the idea of tax-free crypto. Got the SEC off of XRP, and financial markets are at all-time highs, but political conversations never touch these aspects.
We don't get to touch it. I was going to talk about the benefits of tariffs and how some of these Manosphere dudes was emailing me talking about we about to kill the economy. Now let's see, we got a $100 to $200 million surplus in less than 4 months. But more importantly, I don't understand how anybody can support others charging us for, you know, other charging tariffs for us, but we're not charging them. That's just clown level goofiness I've never heard before in my life.
I want to introduce something here because, like, tariffs and international politics aren't really close to home to like the black vote, as I'd like to talk about tonight, because you know we're all black here. And the thing is, can you share the screen for a minute?
Did you say that, Hood? No, I'm fucking.
Yeah,
I'm a different type of nigga. I'm not like these other niggas. Anyway, can you share the screen for me though?
Y'all asked me, hold on. One second. Before I share the screen, y'all asked me why do I have Hood on? The nigga's entertaining. You gotta admit. Come on, man. Anyway, let's go to this.
Listen,
this thing
you can't call me a coon and then act like I don't be bringing up topics that are actually near to the black community, like I'm about to show you right now. Because you guys just mentioned the Essence Fest a minute ago and how we got all these other black, you know, these other melanated people, because allegedly the whole world is black, and I don't give a fuck. These niggas are not like us, and they got to go back, and they don't belong in our government.
We should make dua for him and pray for him. I understand that our Somali communities are all connected to each other here in Minnesota and back home, and I ask for your support. There's always been a link between.
He's running for the mayor of his town, and none of these niggas belong here.
Look at these niggas. Look at them. Look at their foreheads.
All these MFers came there. I was typing in the chat. I lived in Minnesota for 15 years. All these motherfuckers came there in the 90s when we tried to Captain Save a whole, I want to say it was some kind of disaster that was happening in their country.
It was Black Hawk Down. It was Somalia. Yeah, we thought we could save the world, and now we got to bring all these Somali niggas over here. Now we got Somalians in our government.
And real quick, Hood, that neighborhood that they in, and it's called East Bank. They got Somali gangs. They have locked it down, man. So there you go. FD. And this is where Ilhan Omar came out of. There you go.
No. Let me take it just a little bit. Let me take it up just a notch. Leon in the chat, because he's been on my nuts this whole time. He keep asking why am I here. Leon, I am the only black fascist you really know right now, and this is what I mean by black fascist. America belongs to black people, white people, and these niggas got to get the fuck out. That's not conservatism, by the way.
Hey, Hood. Is there anything else on this clip you want to play, or that's it?
We can listen to a few more of these niggas babble.
Our community here, as well as back home. And I'm running to bridge that gap and unite all of us and represent all of us. Because when we succeed here, we succeed everywhere.
Now, let me ask you a question. If that nigga black, what does voting black actually mean anymore?
Thank you.
Bars.
I am the captain now.
Fuck out of here, bro. I am the captain now. Yes, bro, that's what we up against, man. Like, and this is why I kind of I take a different type of tone, because niggas really get caught up in the white black race war thing. And listen, there's gonna be black folk and white folk in this country till the sun blow up, and that's cool. But we got to deal with the Mexicans, we got to deal with the Somalians, we got to deal with all of Africa, because apparently them niggas are stealing our culture and taking our award shows. We got to deal with the fucking the Indian tech mafia, bro. We got so many other things to worry about, and you niggas think we in 1965 walking across some bridge.
I think that is verging on treason, actually, because what he's implying is that he's going to serve a community for the sake of actually serving a community that are not citizens, or not, they don't have green cards. We're talking about people in other countries. So I don't think that a public official is allowed to advocate for people that are not residents of the United States.
They're not, Dr. Thunder, but they do. Rashida Tlaib, Arab chick in Detroit, Ilhan Omar has openly talked
I mean, I know they do it.
Yeah.
I know they do it, but I'm saying that there's got to be some sort of policing of that.
And can I just say this? Jasmine Crockett also too. That buffoon. Go ahead.
That's all I was gonna say.
No.
Hey, please
Listen,
don't
we really need a whole new. Yeah, go. You got it.
Please, I was just gonna say, please don't advocate for the deportation of melanated immigrants, because those on my community tab that think I'm a tether. I won't be able to stay here anymore, Mr. Conservative.
You were going to talk about the Essence Fest thing and how black people got to stop playing nice. I'll just say it that way. Stop letting everybody in. When you say you're not for this country or you're for the fairness of these other peoples, don't you realize they're using you as a stepping stone? They don't care about you. I wish we would have more of an offense first type of position, versus, if they do this to them, they can do this to us. No, that's not the case at all. And now look, like you said, Hood, Essence Fest, hopefully they learned their lesson, but we'll see next year, and if y'all out of the loop, apparently the Essence Fest has become Afro beats, Shout
out to Keep It 1,000. That's hilarious.
Fuck you niggas. Okay, I reveal myself. Fuck all you niggas. This is my real voice. This is my real voice. Fuck all you. Fuck all you Kefa cotton picker. You cotton picker. I am.
See, look, this is the thing. Like
oh, fuck.
Black politics right now is technically anti-black. Because all you niggas is protesting for the Latinos, y'all protesting for the immigrants, y'all protesting for everybody but the slave-born black people, which I thought that was the whole reason why we vote for niggas anyway, so we could have a voice. And now all you niggas is trying to speak Spanish. I feel so betrayed.
Let me throw this in here before I forget it. Okay. And this is related to the topic, but it's another thing, especially when it comes to these YouTube niggas. A lot of these niggas on here that's acting like they're pro-black, they're really not, right? Because the first thing that happens when you disagree with a nigga, they start talking like cracker rednecks to niggas, right? they start judging you on the same shit, right? That a white man would judge a black man on, right? The same reason why, you know, most of the space wants to see your boy Carmelo Anthony go to jail, when in my opinion, he's just the Trayvon Martin that killed the motherfucker before he got killed. That's how I see that case. And you got a bunch of motherfuckers in here that want to see the kid go to jail. This kid, if you want to talk about Trayvon Martin, smoke weed, you can't say nothing like that other sort about Carmelo. A lot of motherfuckers that's in this space, they got some deep-seated issues with black people, but be on some fake pro-black shit. That's why I don't do the pro-black shit, because it's a fucking costume. It's a costume. The motherfuckers think they go pro-black their way into some pussy, and that's how I feel about it. That pro-black shit ain't gonna save niggas. It ain't gonna bring the women back. It ain't gonna do none of that shit. All that shit is fake. I had a motherfucker on my community tab talk about, oh, you trying to be on some hood shit. You read the exchanges between me and these dudes, and I was basically breaking down what they were saying on some intellectual shit, but they talking about, oh, you want some hood shit. So you got the hood energy from shit that I'm typing to you. What is it about that? No, you just judging me on some, you think you're, you know, a redneck Negro, right? But everybody fake these, and they got these fake African names on top of it, right? All this fake pro-blackness out this motherfucker. It's all bullshit.
Let me point something else out.
I just want to say this. The pro-black motherfuckers are the biggest coons in the world. I just want to say that.
Yes.
Let me point something else out, especially with the Essence Fest and how it's revealing true sentiment and all that. The thing is, we did this to ourselves as Black America, because Africa didn't create Pan-Africanism, and Africans are not Pan-African. And the thing is, by so many Black Americans basically on like a 40-year glaze of Africa as a concept, like even I was talking about New York in the chat and how, you know, uptown is fucking Africa Village uptown now. And like, we kind of encourage that, you know, remember back in the day, there's a bunch of Africans uptown now. They all over the city, but you know, they got pockets and shit. But the thing is, as Black Americans, speaking of uptown in Harlem, you remember the leather era with, you know, the Africa medallion and all of that shit, niggas running around with dashikis on, niggas got cowrie shell necklaces, you know, them niggas with the shell necklaces. We was actually acting like they had some culture and some knowledge and some wisdom to gain and, you know, give to us. And now that they're hearing numbers, we just found out that they niggas that want to eat our shit, bro. And, you know, now that all that's out the way, we have to treat them like we would treat any other niggas that want to eat your shit.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say two things. Number one, CG, I see you, bro. Two things I want to say in reference to what you said. I was talking to Rob, Black Light Revelations, and one thing I said to him, because, you know, you got a lot of guys who are from different parts of the U.S. where they don't really come across people from the continent or people from the Caribbean. And, you know, what I was telling Rob is, you know, he's like, yo, I don't really see people on it like that over here. And, you know, he's in Ohio. And I said, bro, if you were in New York, you probably would see different. You know, I went to high school with a bunch of people from the Caribbean, and they used to talk cash shit about America and Americans, right? When people got like the majority, because I'm from Flatbush, where most people are Caribbean. So I went to school with majority of people from the Caribbean. And when these people don't outnumber you, right? Like when Caribbeans and people, Africans started coming over here, they wanted to be ingratiated by Black Americans. But once they reach over here in huge numbers, that's when they start kind of smelling themselves. That's when you hear the accents. That's when the dreads grow and all of that shit. But another thing I want to say, and this is related to Carmelo. The funny thing about Black conservatives, and I'm going to say this, is when niggas complain, like, you know, about a Trayvon Martin or something like that happening, you know, things that Black men are going through. The first thing Negro conservatives want to say, why y'all acting like victims? Y'all sound like victims, right? Well, if I don't want to be a victim, I carry a knife with me. I don't give a fuck if it's at the track meet or wherever else. Okay. So when a nigga decided he ain't want to be a victim, if a nigga decided to bring something sharp, just in case some motherfucker want to start something, then he wrong then, and he's wrong. So what he was supposed to do was get beat up by the two white boys and be crying on the news. That's what he was supposed to do. He was supposed to take his ass whooping, cry, and then look at him being a victim. He's such a victim. Oh my God, look at the victim. No, these motherfuckers claim they got Second Amendment right to protect themselves at all times. I don't give a fuck where I'm at. It might be against the policy of the place that I'm at, but I'm carrying that shit anywhere. I don't give a fuck who agrees with it.
That's cool.
I don't care. The knife never comes out of the kid's pocket if he ain't get attacked. If the two boys sit their asses down, and we know a lot more about this case than we did in the beginning, right? If these kids were bullying everybody. If these motherfuckers sit their ass
do we know
down,
that? When did that come out?
Oh, I ain't gonna pull it up now, but we can talk about it another time because I don't want this to take over the discussion, Hood. But what I will say is, if them motherfuckers don't fuck with him, they don't get stabbed. My knife ain't doing. Hold on, my knife. Hold on. My knife in my pocket ain't doing shit to nobody until somebody jump back. It's self-defense is self-defense. Now, if somebody gonna say that he went to these motherfuckers and provoked them, then you're saying something else. But y'all mad simply because he had the knife on him. That's weak, bro. That's weak because I was carrying. Oh, we wasn't supposed to be on school grounds. Well, you ain't supposed to jump a motherfucker on school grounds neither, right? So he got stabbed and they out of here. I have no sympathy for them. None. Zero fucking zilch. Because we hear too much shit. We're not just black boys, but black men get approached by motherfuckers and fucked with. And y'all niggas is mad because that motherfucker decided to say fuck that and fuck you. Again, fake pro-blackness, right? We're in a black space with black men talking black male shit, and y'all mad at a nigga because he was carrying? Fuck out of here. Fuck any nigga that got a problem with it.
Hey, excuse me.
Nigga that got a problem
Excuse
with
me.
it.
Plus one, them dudes big enough to them motherfuckers was Danny White that played for the Cowboy size too. Shit.
Bro, listen.
Yo, this is literally a fishtail. Like they get bigger and bigger every time a nigga tells the tale, bro. Like as far as I know, they're like Bigfoot. As far as I know, they were 8 feet tall.
Regardless of the size,
they were drooling. They had blood dripping from their fangs. Like
it's irrelevant.
Every time a nigga tells the tale, it gets bigger and bigger.
Yo, when Kyle Rittenhouse was running and shooting at motherfuckers, y'all defended that motherfucker, right?
I don't know who Kason Allison is. I don't stand for every black conservative thing. I'll say this. I think all of this is these are stories that are psyops. There I said it. You know, call me coon, all that or whatever, because they know it'll cause division in this. You know, and you know, case in point, there's a black chick named Larisha Thompson or what have you. None of y'all have heard this story. She was killed by 6 illegals, a black woman, right? She probably voted for Kamala. It doesn't matter. My point is that story wasn't even spread nationally. There is no say in her name and all this. And my point is, I think they know how to magnify these. They know how to magnify these things because they know these are touch points for people, you know. So that's what I'll say to that. And as far as the so-called conservative, I can't keep up with every single little thing, you know. My mother passed away when the whole Carmelo Anthony thing happened, so I didn't find too many details about that until later on, you know, but I get it. But again, to me, these are all just psyops, you know, and I do think that he had a right to defend himself. So there I said it. Okay.
I appreciate that. But, you know, again, the initial reaction is it's really about, and shout out to Henny King. He says, I'm protesting to keep the bitches, send them in back. I appreciate the super chat. I didn't get to read the super chat. The thing is, right, when this story first broke, niggas' immediate reaction was that this kid was wrong. Before we talked about how big the boys was, before we talked about any of that shit, we talked about any of that shit, before any of this shit came out, I watched niggas, and to me, it was like Pearl Davis all over again. I watched the motherfuckers immediately cape for the white boys immediately
Okay,
before niggas knew anything about anything.
Hey, Marcus,
Okay?
I don't mean to bring up something dead news. Has any if you guys have found guys who be on Tito's channel, Hood's, your channel, or whatever that was at Pearls, call those guys out. I don't know any of these guys, but then again, I didn't watch Pearl,
What do you mean? I'm confused. I'm missing something.
Maybe I'm connecting the dots on things, but that whole Pearl controversy to me was a big phony thing in the first place. Even the lawyer even spoke on it, and it's like, look, if those
when you say what controversy, what part of it?
You know what I'm talking about? Basically, dudes watching Pearl, right?
Okay.
And I'm saying, I don't even. Well, first of all, I didn't watch her, so I was, I was waiting for a channel to come up with a list like, yeah, you see, that's what's the name, Cash App and her and this. But my point is that I didn't really see a lot of things, from a lot of the brothers who watch these channels, over there. Now, maybe again, because I don't watch her, I don't know, man. But sometimes I just think we manufacture the wrong argument.
Tice, niggas gotta let it go. It really is a bad look that so many dudes are triggered over this one white girl. Like deeply triggered. It's crazy.
So let me clarify that, because y'all are going places that ain't had shit to do with what I said. When I say Pearl, I'm talking about this whole, Pearl gonna save niggas shit. I'm talking about that, right? Now, to respond to Trey says now ninjas are scared to fight. Didn't George Zimmerman shoot a whole teenager? Didn't he shoot a whole teenager? See, this be the type of shit. Like, if we're gonna say shit, let's be consistent with it. Didn't George Zimmerman shoot with a fucking gun a whole teenager? See, that's when it's self-defense and Second Amendment rights, right? That's when it's cool. It's never cool for a nigga to win the altercation. Let's just say what it is, man. Y'all niggas to be mad either way. When the nigga lose, he was a thug, he smoked weed, he deserved to get shot, right? Okay. He said, was George Zimmerman.
Maybe we should go back to politics, bro.
Alabama.
We will, but I just wanted to respond to that. But going back, I'm just saying, like, niggas got the right to stab, shoot motherfuckers who attack them. I don't give a fuck what nobody said. And as far as the Pearl thing, when I said this reminds me of that, I'm talking about how the space was on some, or certain members of the space, I'm gonna say it that way, right, was on some. Pearl is here to rescue us and advocate and all that stupid shit. That shit that made me vomit in private. But anyway, moving right along. Moving right along, right? Keep it 100. These motherfuckers.
That phone call's from Pearl.
Let these idiots
that's
proceed on their way to oblivion.
You got the call.
Y'all reading me, talking over me reading the comment, niggas.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Shout out to Rob. He said, let these idiots proceed on their way to oblivion and stack Satoshis, bro. Absolutely. But yeah. So Jesse Lee, I don't know if he's saying it to me, you're making up that story. No, that actually happened. But anyway, we're gonna move right along. Where were we? We were looking at the tracker, right? Let me bring that back up.
Project 2025. I mean, I would like to be, because I don't know that Project 2025 is even really an issue. That, like, it's not brought up. Like, we got the immigration thing, we got the Iran thing, Israel, all of that. So, I mean, if we're talking about Trump, there's a lot of juicy things to talk about. Project 2025 is kind of flat.
Let's move on from that. Let me ask the conservatives on the panel. Is there anything that you guys will say that you disagree with that Trump is doing? Let me hear that.
Yeah, those things I just brought up. I mean, Israel, Iran. I don't think we need to be blowing up things in Iran. I'm not even necessarily sure if, as a country, America is threatened by Iran having a nuke. If North Korea can have janky nukes, Iran can have janky nukes. I'm not really tripping on that. The whole thing with Israel, obviously, this is a weird thing that's happened over the last couple of months since October 7th. And it was always under the surface, but you needed like an issue to really blow it up. The far left hates Israel as much as the far right hates Israel for completely radically different reasons. And it's tearing the parties, both of the parties. It's kind of having like ripples in both of the parties. And that's kind of what's happening with Trump right now. And then even like the Epstein thing is tied to that, because it's alleged that Epstein was working for an intelligence agency, and it's most likely the Mossad plus various unnamed American agencies as well. And the right-wing base is looking at Trump like, you know, all the other things that you're doing are good. Nobody's tripping about Project 2025, round up all the immigrants, all of that. But we're looking at you with the fisheye, like, you know, I guess that's the best we could expect.
I don't like to talk publicly about that country we can't name, but I am sick of Netanyahu and all of this, you know, all these things. You know, it's like, what pictures do they have of people? You know what I'm saying?
Can I say what I disagree with? I disagree with this business as usual, dilly-dallying, pussy-footed ass response to political violence by leftists. Like those people that ambushed that ATF officer, they shouldn't just be charged with attempted murder and all of that shit. They should be charged with sedition,
terrorism, or something.
This is the main problem that we have in this country is that we didn't try and summarily hang all of the Democrats after the Civil War. Because they are meant to be anti-American, fundamentally hard goes in free will. And now peacefully in the
say it's cruel. You know, for music to about this, they on the inside people get away. You already know away with get sentenced to.
I don't know. Maybe you guys are working when I some kind of it's everything that.
Can you hear us?
I don't think it's broadcasting is simply.
If it's a YouTube
and some things, maybe we.
You might not even tech is out there. Stuff, man.
So, okay, it says, I'm gonna read and then bring back every bring it up. Let me hold on 10. Let me on here. So you know what, somebody, because somebody type in that I'm about to reset. Somebody type in the chat. I'm about to I'm gonna hold on. Let me. I'm gonna reset. I'm gonna reboot. I'm gonna reboot. Be right back. I think this might be a YouTube issue.
Yeah,
Oh.
Trey saying it's all over YouTube. It's not you. Okay.
Let's see something here.
Sometimes the text don't cooperate.
I did want to say something about, in particular, on the right, in particular the evangelical right. They have this dispensationalism, right? And I wasn't this past week, but I think it was a week before that. I went into detail about what dispensationalism is. It's a 20th century heretical, Christian view that basically alliance with Israel will garner blessings for you, your family, for your country, like this. Also, what's packaged, bundled together with that is this idea of a pre-tribulation rapture. I don't know if you are familiar with the Left Behind series.
Oh yeah.
But it's been tremendously influential on a lot of modern Christian groups that have bought this clearly heretical doctrine, something that, again, traces only back to the 20th century.
Doctor, are you talking about Seven Mountains theology?
I'm not familiar with that name that you're talking about, but I mean, basically describe what dispensationalism is. If you want more detail, like I said, I did a show a couple weeks on a couple weeks ago. The topic was one of the segments. But that's what's animated a lot of that. I mean, matter of fact, when what was the senator that sat down with Walker about school, he learned that
and
that you and then he blesses you and all kind of stuff. So what's that from? What verse? I mean, he's asking them basic questions. You know, people hold that you can't quit. Because look, if Israel is God's people, the one perspective
cut you off that literal thing out because this is into the Scopes Bible, the dispensation. What word you just used? I can't even think about it.
Stop. This just sounded terrible on I don't know what's going on. I was listening to clip.
What if you restart the entire stream like I did instead of
stream?
I think it's stream y'all straight up.
Mine's
a lot of technical shit with them.
Yeah, cause now I'm getting an error that said YouTube is not receiving enough videos to maintain smooth stream. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reboot my computer and see if that's it. So somebody type in that I'm gonna reboot my computer. And the screen is gonna go black for a second. Okay. Yeah, tell them that the screen's gonna go back for a second. Reboot computer. Let me see something. Screen's gonna go black for a second. I reboot my computer. Okay. Yes, it is. Be right back. Yes. By this point.
Yeah, stream. Yeah, so this, as far as I understand, this is still streaming live.
Yeah,
even though
it's
he's
still
moved.
live.
But
I think this is a StreamYard issue, maybe. Well, it's not a YouTube issue because I'm pulling up other people's live streams and I'm hearing clear business. So it's only us apparently.
StreamYard, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but I'm just
It
trying to
happened to me
figure
a lot
out.
of times when I was using them.
Either it's StreamYard or he having like some connection issues, or something going on with the satellite or something like that. Because I'm pulling up other streams that are live right now, and most people use StreamYard, and other people.
Hey, Hood, hold on. Let me use this opportunity to ask you as a New Yorker. So what's up with this? What the heck is his name? Zamdani. This guy you voted. Yeah, this communist you voted for. Well, what's up with that, man? So y'all going?
I'm not even in, I moved out of New York like 3-4 years ago now. I don't even know if I can call myself a New Yorker now. I'm just an American.
Still got your 347?
I do. I'm not giving my number up. I had this cell phone for so long. I ain't giving up that number. That 347 is special now. Only thing better than a 347 is a 718.
That's how y'all are, man. I know a New York guy that's living in Cambodia right now. He still calls me 347.
It's funny that the two major cities in the United States could potentially have communist mayors. We are Los Angeles. You know, I just find that very interesting.
Well, that Somali dude I showed you, he's running for mayor of his little town in the Midwest too. Not a town. I think it's a bigger city because he wouldn't have made the news.
It's Minneapolis. Yeah,
right. Yeah. Right. So that's what I said. It's not a town. It's a bigger city. So that's both coast and the Midwest, right? Every angle.
You know, many of the people who I know that live there don't live in the city, so they can't vote. It's a very good, it's like a spades possible he could get elected.
Man, look, those are the people. Y'all do a whole bunch of push-ups, okay? Because you're going to be fighting the civil war against these motherfuckers in about 7 years. If they start letting them have these Sharia law cities and shit, I'm telling you, y'all.
Look, they tried to build the Sharia town in Texas. I hear they shut it down. And then they already got like the Hindu monkey god statue somewhere in Texas. So you got the Muslims, the Hindus. They might start fighting each other before they even try to take over America because they kind of retarded anyway. So like it's gonna be bad no matter what.
Like I said, do a whole bunch of push-ups. If you ain't got a real gun, practice with Nerf guns or something, because you're gonna have to pick up a gun off a dead body. I'm telling you,
Marcus, you can people. Right? You back, Marcus?
Yeah, I'm back. Y'all can hear me?
Much better.
Is it much better?
Yeah.
I mean, you can hear me, but I'm talking about them.
Oh,
can
on
they
the
hear
stream,
me?
yeah. Let me look at it on my phone. Let me do this.
Yeah, I could always hear y'all the whole time. I don't know how it sounds to
Oh,
them.
Joy Taylor got fired today.
Yeah, I heard. That. So, what do you think?
Yeah,
she's
whore. She's a whore. She should go to the street and be a streetwalker because she's a whore.
Why does communism versus really matter to you niggas again? Oh my God, Leon. The fact that you're uneducated about communism speaks volumes in the comment you just led. But I want you to answer me this question, since you asked the question first or whatever. Can you name me any successful socialist or communist environment? Don't say China, because China actually practices the communism. I'm sorry, capitalism mixed with communism. But please show me. No. Let me get this off, Hood.
Oh, hold on, because it don't make sense for you to say what you're going to say if they can't hear you.
Oh,
right, if they can't hear you. So look, check this out. I'm gonna see what they talking about. Look, how does it sound right now? Because Tan is saying the stream is good now. Is it good sound? If it's good sound, we gonna keep moving. If it's bad sound, I'm gonna dead this shit and start another one. So let me know what it is.
It's probably better than it was. It's probably better than it was. But
David O'Lurking is right. And that's the sad part. Motherfucker, Marcus, sorry. This isn't related to Carmelo, but motherfuckers love being, love licking off government's titty till they realize that's the only titty that's going to be available and they ain't going to get the best services that they want. But motherfuckers love this communism garbage.
No,
and
the thing I wanted to say about communism, I mean, not communism, but China in particular, Tice, I don't know if you know this, because over here in the West, we're having this population issue and the dating stuff and all that. China just passed a law that says women are no longer entitled to their husband's money after the divorce. Like, that's huge.
Yeah, I reviewed that story either earlier, I think it was last week. Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. And of course, the dating issue, the replacement rate issue. That's not just a Western issue. It's just a developed country issue, because Taiwan, starting in 2023, and it's still the same, their birth rate is 0.87. That's Taiwan.
I know that Japan's is also pretty low.
No,
too.
Japan's is catastrophic. Japan is like at a -21.
And then look. If you look at it's sort of like a heat map that they got around the world to project like birth rates, and most of the Western world, so that's all across North and South America. And well, in South America, not so much, but North America, all of Europe. So that's from like, the UK all the way across to Korea even. And then parts of China, Japan, parts of Asia, they're all having flattened birth rates. And the place with the highest birth rate, like so on a heat map, the place that's actually hot red, fucking Africa, bro.
Yeah, I could have responded to that. I mean, I could have guessed that. I could have completed that sentence for you. Yeah, Africa.
I just wanted to add a historical note about communism for any so-called Black people that support it. I don't know if you realize this, but first of all, I will say this: communists are entertaining because, despite the historical record of absolutely tragic failures of communist governments in terms of human life, in terms of capital wasted, cultures destroyed, they will always say, "Oh, well, we'll get it right this time." When does this time come? But for any so-called Black person that supports communism, I have to remind you of the absolutely terrible history that communist governments have with their ethnic minorities in their countries. I'll give you a few examples. The Mansi in Russia, they actually displaced all of them all the way to Siberia just for land projects, right? And then you have when the Vietnamese communists came in, that's how we get all these Montagnards and nuns in this country, because they begin to ruthlessly oppress them because of skin color and because of culture and everything, and because of ethnicity. And they ended up siding with the Americans because they were left alone under the French. And then when the communists took over, the first thing they did is went to the communist playbook of, suppressing counter-revolutionary activities under the guise of ethnic cleansing. well, I'm sorry, ethnic cleansing under the guise of, you know, suppressing counter-revolutionary activities.
Most black politics in general is left wing.
Left wing.
I know. No, to me it's downright.
Right. It is.
And I did a live on that shit before. And then wait a minute. And then you have the Han Chinese, and look at what they're doing to the Uyghurs right now. So this is what you as a black person support is the absolute extermination of racial minorities, even though you a damn racial minority.
So Leon Henry King, who says, I do not support either communism or capitalism. Clearly, you don't know anything about capitalism because you're supporting it right now by probably using this technological device in your hand to watch this stream, you know, that was created based off of competition in the business marketplace called capitalism. But when I hear a black man say they don't support capitalism, it tells me a person who doesn't want to be competitive and wants something handed to them.
Hey, let me hey, Adrian.
Yo.
She's still there? You still there? Hey, would you let me drop you down a second. I want to bring up Henny King for a quick second, and then I'll bring you back. I want to, because he's asking to jump in.
Hey, I wanted to say something real quick. I don't know that because a person has a different political philosophy or has some gripes against capitalism, that means that they're anti-competition and that they're inherently lazy. I'm not sure that.
I think that's a stretch.
But I will say this. Also, the term capitalism, and one of the reasons that I don't use that. I mean, I use the term every once in a while because we're kind of stuck with it, but I try to not use it, is because capitalism was actually coined by Karl Marx. That's his term, and it was a pejorative. So I prefer talking about it like free market.
Right. But let me say this. The thing is, let me say this real quick. Doc, the thing is, Doc, I mean, is them, and then one of them, like, if you're anti-capitalism, you're automatically lazy. I will grant you that argument in the broadest sense, right? But there's a reason why there's an association with that, because Marx himself was a lazy piece of shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, but okay. So we're making, there's a lot of stretches there. An idea does not carry the responsibility of the behavior of the person that thought of the idea.
No,
it is sound.
It doesn't.
Now hold up. If an argument is sound, then it will stand on its own. It's on its own 2 feet. If it's not sound, then
Well, obviously it's not sound though. I think it's apparent that it's not sound.
I'm not saying it's sound. I'm just,
and so I think no, I'm arguing that the reason why you're.
I want to say this real quick, right? And I agree with Doc, but then I'm gonna let you say what you're gonna say, Hood. My issue with communism is, not communism, with capitalism is this. I don't have a problem with capitalism as an idea. I have a problem with capitalism and as this idea of free market, and it's really not.
That's crony capitalism, though, Marcus. I
got you, but that's what we have here, right? So that's why I said I don't have a problem with capitalism as an idea. See, I led with that.
Okay.
So, but my issue with capitalism in America is that we don't have true capitalism in America. People don't want to compete. They eliminate the competition and they call it capitalism. Black people have never really been able to practice capitalism like everyone else does. I'm not saying we don't practice it. We don't practice it like everyone else. We're not allowed to play this game like other people do. It's not a level playing field.
That's not what's
what I'm saying?
Or capitalism is.
I understand that. I understand the the concept. I'm saying how it's practiced, Ties.
Fair enough.
You feel me? That's what I'm saying. But that's what I led with. That you understand what I'm saying? It's not practiced the way it's presented or by definition.
I think
That's
the
what I'm
level
saying.
playing field is an irrelevant factor, though. It has nothing to do with the idea of the free market.
The reason, since I'm the one who said the comment, I'll explain myself. When you do a contrast and compare of communism to capitalism as a structure or as a, profits loss, all those things, free market, all this, it is absolutely no comparison. And then when we see how communism was used to corral Black people from the Frankfurt School in the 1930s and 40s, where they then taught the Black Panthers to teach this, this one particular philosophy of so-called liberation. And then they basically, communists play the long game. How do I say it? And Dr. Thunder, I'm sure you're aware of this. Many of them, they said, okay, you know what? We can't beat them at this, so we're going to disguise it. We're not going to call it communism. We're going to call it socialism. It's, it's a more improved this, or we're going to call it critical theory, which is the predecessor to critical race theory.
Progressivism, progressive. That's what they call
it. Let me land the plane here real quick. And it's all about taking from the producers of something and say, no, even though we didn't do that work, you need to give something to us or what have you. And life doesn't work like that.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree with that. That's not what I'm saying. And to your man, Jesse Lee is up here talking about go back to Africa. I ain't from Africa, you dumb fuck.
Hold on a second. What we can dude, come up here, dude.
I'm from Africa.
So one thing. So you said one side of it, Marcus. So we said the thing about crony capitalism. Right. So
that's what he called it.
Yeah. So that's an issue on one side. Thing, right? But an issue on both sides is that socialism is part of both platforms. It's a heavy of a platform. And it's interesting to hear about how, capitalism is not socialist. They're the social. When you look at the way they work, there's a lot of associated parties.
I need to say Dr. Thunder with Mark. I don't care public schools. These services that are funded. Okay. Yes. Socialism. We're going to have a little second. Well, if you want to call it that, that's what it is.
I don't think that's literally what it is. No. You're getting into
socialism with that the GM and price that was
socialism. I think that's a more direct control over actual industry. So I think during it's more like socialism, where industry to the government to win. I don't know that taxes to pay for something is quite security.
Hold on time about tax pay for other shit. Tax, hold on.
What do you mean by that though?
When it's taxes, then it's socialism. It's taking from people. Hold on, it's taking from people who haven't given, who don't have. What it is. That's what taxes are. I usually say we all pay child support. We have kids or not, we pay child support because our taxes keep peoples they not. Okay, I agree with some of this stuff, but let's not change the definitions of shit.
And even if you have it or not, you're all school.
Okay, I'm not
socialism.
Before
we're not change the definition of shit. They say it ain't as Borgen. They say
I gotta get out of here anyway. We might.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to
Candace to try again another time.
Yeah, we gonna.
The guys don't like us
cut it,
tonight.
y'all. Look, Ty City booked on us. It's probably Ty City in the background doing this shit to us. But yeah, man, we about to cut it out.
I blame the. Here, I won't say them.
Yeah, somebody said y'all sound like Starscream from Transformers.
Damn. I know Leon wanted to come up, but they can't hear us. They can't hear us. So we gonna cut this off, man. Thank you for coming out. Thank you. We're gonna cut it. I'm gonna
catch y'all later, man. It was good talking to y'all, man. Have a good night, man.
All right, here, man.
Peace out.
Peace out.
And remember